I'll call this Bang Bang.
Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury. Michael Proctor, 𝗵𝗃𝗺.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
My name's Aidan Kearney.
Known online as
Turtleboy and is a senior editor for
tvdailynews.com.
They call me
Dr. Turtleboy.
It's my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy. What's up, Slick? The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's right, the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday night. My name is Aidan Kearney. I go by a variety of nicknames. You can call me, Journalism Jesus. You can call me, if you're spiritual, you can call me Timothy Kearney. That is my true crime name. You can call me Turtleboy will do, Uncle Turtleboy. I prefer Dr. Turtleboy. It's my preferred pronoun. Because if 𝗪𝗿𝗆 is a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor too. You can call me daddy if you'd like. For some people, that might be a little bit weird. Call another grown man daddy. But based on the crowd, I saw the other night, there's a saucy crowd. So I don't think people mind calling me daddy at all. You can call me different derivatives of daddy, up to including, but not limited to, fridge daddy. You can call me crowd daddy, theater daddy. I don't really care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp. And make sure you smash that subscribe button for me and hit the notification bell in case we do a random pop-in. I'm starting to do random. I'm doing bus stop lives every day now. I used to do it on Facebook, but I do it on YouTube now because it's way cooler. And Facebook's just inconsistent. So yeah, I got the new background, the Wilbur background. I think it's a hit. I think we should go with this. I think this is appropriate. The new theme, the Turtleboy theme. Brother Council respects my pronouns. 𝗵𝗶𝗆 respects my pronouns. The really important, smart people in the world all respect my pronouns. I think Ryan Grimm called me doctor when I went on his show. So yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I appreciate the love. But anyway, yeah, the chat is fast tonight and it's just getting started because we got about 3,200 people here, and that's when people just start streaming in here. So we'll probably double that before you know it, which might not seem like a lot. People are going to be like, oh, his views are way down. That the trial's over. Check before the trial. Like when I got out of jail, the first stream out of jail was, I was like really looking forward to the first stream out of jail. Cause I'm like, oh, we're going to get like, I'd never gotten like above 5,000 on a live stream. And I got like 6,500. I don't think I broke 7,000 that night. And that was like the first one back from jail. That was like a big one, like everyone was, it was like, hi, 60 days without Turtleboy. You're going to be fiending for that shit. Like right before the trial too, you're going to be fiending for that. And so 6,500. So people got, the trial numbers are fake, not fake, but they're inflated because of the trial. It's just, you're going to get a lot of casual followers, whatever, but thousands of you have subscribed. Tens of thousands of you have subscribed to the channel that weren't, when I had like 50,000 subscribers when I went to jail. Now I got 160, whatever, so yeah, so make sure you smash that subscribe button, join the fun. Cause we got a pretty good size audience here. It's cool. And, we're going to have a lot of fun. There's always something to talk about. So here's the deal. We're going to go live again tomorrow night too. We got to do it tomorrow night too, because, the Megamotions is, one more day. Apparently they're still baking the cake. They needed more time today, because if it wasn't for these goddamn redactions and the dueling ruling about, all this stuff not being taken to Unimpound Town, it's just a lot of redactions. So we're going to have to go over it tomorrow night. It'll probably be released during the day at some point, which means that Melanie Little will probably cover it prior to my show, and others as well. And that's okay, because I actually like hearing from people who aren't me talking about my case. It's important stuff. So, the question is, will lawyer talk about it? Will Peter Tragos talk about it? I know now that Don Adelson's over, I know he doesn't like touching this one with the 10-foot pole. He's a little nervous about it, but it's kind of an important case, and this Megamotion is going to be good stuff. So Howie will be covering it. I'm sure me and Howie are cool. The gang's back together. I talked to him. I talked to Howie yesterday on the phone. I just wanted to clear the air. I'm like, look at Howie. I'm like, this is dumb. Like we got this. We're on the same team here. We're rolling in the same direction. It's stupid. And, honestly, it's like, I had a conversation with him, and he was like, yeah, he said that he told me that he asked when he had Karen on, he asked her that question. He was like throwing a softball, he said to her. And he said that, he goes, when I asked her, is there anyone you want to thank? He's like, I knew we hadn't mentioned you yet at that point. So like, that was his like reminder, you know what I mean? Like a little prompt there. And at least that's what he said. And I was like, oh, cool. But I had to remind him though. I'm like, well, I appreciate the gesture, Howie. You're trying to set her up to say thank you, but I just want to be very clear. Like, you got it all wrong, Howie. Like, She doesn't owe me a thank you. I owe her a thank you. Okay. So I want to be I want that on the record. So again, I want to thank Karen Reed for making me who I am today and handing me this story. So without her, I am nothing. So I just want to once again acknowledge that. So anyway, so the gang's back together tomorrow. It'll be good stuff. And yeah, I saw the Glare made a post about Peter Tragos that he said Peter lacks the teeth to cover this case properly, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, all you gotta do is read the paperwork. Just read the paperwork, and you'll see all the shenanigans that come with it. But you also have to watch the clips and watch the shows. Like the Glare did it right. The Glare is the one that he's the one that actually broke down, and MLS did this too, Making Law Simple. They both kind of broke it down and actually listened to all the clips and read the quotes in the charging documents. And it's like, wait a minute, this isn't what he said. They're lying about what he said. So anyway, there's that. All right, cool. If anyone wants their message, so yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna go again live. We're gonna do the better motion tomorrow night. So tonight we'll have other stuff to talk about. But if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, you can click at the link at the top for something called Turtle Chat, and you can pay whatever you want, write whatever you want, as long as it's like somewhat, I mean, it can be R-rated. I don't care. Like somebody just roasted some ratchet the other day. It was good stuff. I mean, that's how it's done. Or you can, I mean, you could take shots at me. You could say whatever you want about me. I don't care. There's just some stuff I'm not going to read, but very, very rarely does that happen where I don't read it, Anyway, yeah, I'm sure Runkle will cover it. Some of the big dogs. Maybe Andrea will cover it. Andrea, however you pronounce it. It's Andrea. It is Andrea. I was right about that. What does Will say? Again, it's scary to be labeled a victim blamer. I think that's, oh, come on. But there's no way the McAlberts are victims. Come on. All you got to do in my case, I mean, the same could be said for Karen Reed case. Like, I mean, he definitely took a pro Karen Reed stance, I think, with most of his coverage, wouldn't you say? I mean, the facts were pro Karen Reed. Like the facts were on Karen Reed's side during that whole thing. Like it was just undeniable that she was innocent. Oh, the Lindsay one. See, we're not even getting into the Lindsay one really. Like this, she's very rarely. I mean, she's a whole different ball game. I fucking hate that she's even a part of this. She's actually gonna be the person that ends this all because she dropped the Grant towel bomb all over everything, and now Cosgrove's gonna have to recuse himself. That was a week ago today. So I'm sure Bob and Allie will definitely cover it. It'll be properly covered amongst, various other channels, but I don't expect Emily Baker to cover it or anything like that. But, I mean, lawyer, is like, if you're, put it this way, if you're covering the Karen Reed civil suit, then you got to cover the Turtleboy. I mean, I understand the Karen Reed murder trial is bigger than my case, I guess, because it's like a murder and like somebody actually died in this whole thing. But I'm sorry, like trying to put a journalist in jail for 105 fucking years because I asked some questions to a bunch of cop killers. That's a bigger deal than a civil trial. I don't care. I'm a little bit biased when I say that. So like, I've seen brother counsels covering, the civil trial. He's really into that. And Peter Tragos is really into that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, that's old news. That's been litigated. It's the same facts over and over again, just a lower bar. And it is what it is. Yeah, Larry DU guy, definitely had a good thing on it the other day. He had a good video on the fake victim. There is some stuff I have to catch him up on there. I don't think he understands the protective order aspect of it because he's like, Aidan can just release all this stuff. No, I can't. I cannot release her. I'm the only person who can't release her cell phone extraction. Anyone else can. It's apparently all over Twitter. Like it's like who is Jason? Other people have been sharing it all over Twitter. I've seen Suzanne's been posting it a lot. But I everyone can post it except me. It's weird. So there's that. Even it's like all over the internet. And I'm the only one that can't talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it. So there's that. Okay. So, again, if you want to read, have your message roll out to the class. Turtle Chats is at the top, or you can cash at me at $𝗃 and we can do it that way. Let me see what we got so far. All right. First up, today is the 16th. All right. We got, today's the 16th, right? The fuck? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. First up, we got Patricia sends $5 and goes, McAlbert family sympathizer Mac Gutman today said he found the text between Charlie Kirk's murderer and his gay trans boyfriend touching. He did. And I tweeted about this. We got to see this. Do you guys see these messages with the gay trans boyfriend? It's wild. We need to bring this up. I'm going to go. All right. So it's the whole story's coming out about Tyler Robinson, the person who murdered Charlie Kirk 6 days ago in Utah. And he, as soon as the pictures came out, he was like immediately noticed by his parents. He comes from like a nice home. He's the oldest of 3 boys. They really have like a really nice looking family. It's fucking sick what's happened to this kid. He comes from like conservative parents who raised him right, and then he went to college and he just got like his brain got taken over by the woke mind virus. There's no other way to describe it. Like the dude just got brainwashed. Like so he's like the poster child for don't send your fucking kids to college, because this is what you just fucking ruins you. Like it ruined this fucking kid. Right. And so he goes to college and he starts, gets radicalized there. And then he's like, I need to, murk Charlie Kirk. And because he's coming to campus. And if you guys don't know Charlie Kirk, he's like the nice one. Like he's the nice. You don't want to know what comes after Charlie Kirk. It's not good. It's not good. You guys killed the nice one. Like he's like fucking harmless. Like he goes to colleges and just debates liberal kids and has conversations with them. But he's pretty patient with them overall. And somewhat respectful, I think. And he's made comments over the years that offend people? Sure, of course. A lot of people have, right? Doesn't mean you need to die for it. And they determined that he had to die. And so this kid from like almost 200 yards away somehow just shot him right in the neck. And it was horrible. And, so yeah. Anyway, so they do a manhunt. One guy immediately, this old guy, this boomer, pedophile, starts saying, I did it, like on the scene. He gets pulled aside and detained, and everybody thinks he's the killer. As it turns out, he's not. He's just saying that so that the killer has a chance to run away. The killer's over on a building. He climbed up onto a building, jumped down, got into a laying down position, and fired. One shot. And he had 3 other rounds. It was a rifle. He had 3 other rounds where he engraved things on it. Like one of them just said that was in like a 𝗬𝗏𝗃 or whatever. I don't even know what that means, but another one said something to the effect of like, catch this or something like that. I don't know. Something stupid. Anyway, so he gets shot and he's dead. And obviously we've seen the backlash with a lot of this. A lot of people saying stupid shit on social media about it. And I mean, I am a free speech guy. So like, I believe in, First Amendment rights and all that stuff, obviously. But that protects you from the government. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone should get arrested for any of this. Like Pam Bondi's out there right now talking about fucking hate speech and shit. It's like, what is wrong with you? I don't think anyone should go to jail for saying, you could say the most nasty, vile shit about Charlie Kirk, the most offensive, horrible stuff. And I don't think you should be arrested for that. I don't think anyone should be arrested for anything. Like stop it. We can't arrest people for words. Like, that's ridiculous. Now, social consequences are different. Like if you're being ostracized or fired or anything, or like an employer choosing not to be associated with you anymore, you know, those are different kind of decisions. That's not the government putting you in a jail cell, which is what happened to me. I got freaking put in jail for my, opinions. Except for, yeah, like you said, inciting a riot. Like if you are like, hey, everybody fucking light shit on fire and blow shit, that's different, right? Even that, it's close. But because people still have to do the actual crime. Like I'm just against words being crimes in general. So Pam Bondi's up there right now. They're going too far with this shit. They're going too far because there's a difference. But I don't think you should lose your job if you're someone that went online and you were like, Charlie Kirk is a racist, massage therapist, doesn't like gay people. Okay, even if it's all untrue, whatever. Okay. I don't think you should lose your job for that because you're entitled to have that opinion, even if I think it's stupid, right? You're entitled. I don't think anyone should lose their job for that. What I'm in favor of is like these fucking like teachers, right? Who are working with kids and stuff. And they're saying that like, oh, fuck him, hope his family sucks for this family. Haha. No empathy on my part. Like you can't know because you're working with kids and kids can see that. And they're never going to feel comfortable coming to you with anything. And they're never going to feel like what if their parents like Charlie Kirk or voted for Donald Trump or something like that? They're going to feel safe coming to you with anything? No, because they think your parents should die. They think it's funny if your parents die. It's basically what they're saying. Like, that's not cool. So just teachers, they don't have First Amendment rights. No, they do. See, Missy, you must be new here because I was a teacher. And this exact same fucking thing happened to me. Like, you should read my book. Okay. And guess what? It was the right thing to do. I should not be a teacher. Okay. My opinions are the things that I say on my show are offensive. They're real. A lot of people agree with them, but they're offensive. And they're not very cuddly sometimes or empathetic towards some people. Right. And I should not be a teacher because of that, because I am offensive and kids can see this stuff. So these things teachers should not be allowed. No, they shouldn't. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be allowed to do it. Teachers have First Amendment rights. They can say whatever the fuck they want. They don't have a right to the job. You don't have a right to be a first grade teacher. There's nothing in the Constitution that says, well, you have a right to be a first grade teacher. No, that's not how it works. All right. You have a right to say whatever you want. We're not going to arrest you for it, but you don't have a right to keep your job over it. That's not how this works. Stop it. So that's it. I mean, it's just common sense. And there's more than anything, it's the stupid factor. Like, I cannot believe in 2025, there are these people who don't understand how the internet works. That's like, oh yeah, I can go online and I can post some of the most outrageous, offensive, horrible shit. And then expect no consequences at work for this. None at all. That I can just get away with it. What? I mean, welcome to the fucking internet, dude. I figured this out in 2014. Go read my book, right? I got fired, or not fired. I was suspended for 5 days because I said that Jonathan Martin, who was an offensive tackle for the Miami Dolphins in 2013, he said he was being bullied by his teammate Richie Incognito. And I said something to the effect of, bro, you weigh 320 pounds and you're like 6'4", and you're a second round draft pick and All-American and this and shit, and you're crying about bullying like this. I go, that's an overused word, bullying. Like, everybody's crying about bullying. Instead of, why don't you just stand up to the bully? Why don't you just go, he's being mean to you, be mean to him back, push him back, do something, like stand up for yourself. Whatever happened to us teaching kids to stand up for themselves? as opposed to teaching them to be victims. I got suspended 5 days for that, for saying that, because it goes against the school's bullying policy, anti-bullying policy. And they said, well, if a kid can read that, then they might think you're insensitive to bullying. I got 5 days, but that's how teaching works. Okay. So don't blame me. If I had to deal with that standard, you better fucking believe every teacher that's employed today is going to be held to that same standard as I was, period. There will not be two standards of justice in this country. There will be one. Okay. And that's it. That's it. Anyway. So yeah, this kid, Tyler Robinson, ends up, he's identified by his parents. Imagine that. Seeing like, oh shit, that's him. And the dad texted it. He abandoned the gun when he fled. He hid it in the woods. And he seemed to be walking with like a limp. Somebody thought he got like John Wilkes Booth, like jumping off there and broke his leg. But no, he was like, apparently he had the gun in his pants, and buries it in the woods. This is according to the affidavit that was released today. And then he goes and goes back to his apartment where his gay lover is, and no, his roommate. Now they say it's all okay. This is the other confusing part, because people are like, oh, he's like a MAGA guy. It's like, it's one. No, he's not. He's the opposite. And he's got a boyfriend that's transgender, which means, if you think about it, if we're going to be technical about this, right? Aren't they just a straight couple? Right? If trans women, because that's what he is, right? He's a trans woman. That's what you're telling me. So it's got a dick. All right. And now it's a woman with a dick. But according to the rules, trans women are women, right? Like there's no difference. Trans women are women. That's the saying. Trans women are women. Okay. So that just makes them just another straight couple, doesn't it? According to this fucking logic? No, of course not. I mean, that's stupid. They're just two gay dudes. Okay, that's it. Stop it. There's no such thing. I always said this. Transgenderism is eventually going to erase homosexuality. There's going to be no more gay people in this world because of transgenderism. Because now all you have it is, okay, so you're a woman now, so you're just a guy fucking a woman with a dick, apparently. No, I'm not being ridiculous, Anna. And you can go fuck yourself if you don't like it. Because you know what's ridiculous, Anna? Having a dick and saying you're a woman. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't care. Call me crazy. Call me old school because of that. That's fucking ridiculous. All right. So I'm supposed to humor this shit. They're two gay guys, and that's great. That's awesome. It's a beautiful thing. Right? But stop it. Just fucking stop it. I'm ridiculous. You're out here saying that a person with a fucking penis is a fucking woman, and I'm ridiculous. Listen, have a seat. Have a seat, sweetheart. Okay? You don't like it? See you later. Anyway, so they arrest this guy, and his whole affidavit comes out. And they have his text messages. And let me see if I'm going to have to zoom in on these. Let me tell you guys, think these are real, these text messages? Have you guys seen these? All right. So, so these are the messages that he sends his, wait, is this the first one? There it is. So I don't know why they just have these pages, but there's part that comes before this where he confesses to his roommate that it was him. All right. Yep, it's on, and the mom is worried that it's him because it kind of looks like him. And she said, the dad sends a message, goes, send me a picture of the gun. And he just ignores the dad because it's gone, you know. Now, obviously, this is not like 𝗀𝗏 or anything like that. We all learned all about that. but they better be able to back this up. So after reading the note, the roommate responded. So he tells his roommate, check under the keyboard. And under the keyboard is a note that says, I murked Charlie Kirk. And then he goes and he's like, okay. So the roommate reads the note and says, what? You're joking, right? And he goes, I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. What the hell is Orem? It shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. What? Who is this guy? Who is he dating? Hamlet? Like, who is this? You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly afterwards. But most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, comma, almost enough to get out, comma, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah. I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. This is real? This can't be real. Does anyone else think this is fake? Does anybody else think, is this real? What kind, is this how kids talk? I mean, first of all the commas, the grammar, and just like, what the hell is an Orem? Bro, who are these kids that talk like this? I had enough of his hatred. It's just like, it's so much. And it's like, so he just committed a murder and he's not trying to get caught, right? And so what does he do? He confesses to the murder in a text message? People are saying it is real. I mean, I know this is what the affidavit says. Orem is the town. Okay, thank you. Yeah, is this written by ChatGPT? This is weird. Goes on to say, how long have you been planning this? It's like a confession. Somebody compared it to the ending of Breaking Bad. Broken Bad. I was thinking of Broken Baker. It's like the ending of Breaking Bad when Walt makes sure that Skylar doesn't get dragged into that. He takes the blame kind of for everything. It just reeks of that, doesn't it? Like, it's like, this reeks of like lone gunman shit. That like, I'm taking the fall for you. Like, it just reeks of it, right? How it's just like, wow, I didn't know anything about this. How long have you been planning this? He's like, a bit over a week. Like, you put it all in texts, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they've already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. Vehicle? Who is this? Shannon Burgess? Who is this? Who says vehicle when they're that young? I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back my grandma's rifle. Old man? You know who calls their dad my old man? Like blue collar people, not college students. Oh, it's my old man. My old man's busting my chops. He's making me chop wood. Oh, yeah, he wants me to take over the fucking HVAC business. Oh, my old man, fucking pain in the ass. Oh, yeah. Like, my old man, he calls his dad. This kid strikes me as the kind of guy that doesn't really like his dad very much and wouldn't refer to him as his old man, but that's just me. Goes on to say, oh, he dropped out of college. I don't know. This whole thing, it's not fake, people are saying. I mean, This very much could be real. It could be real, I suppose, right? But it just reeks of not real. I don't know. It just reeks of. I would not be surprised if it wasn't real. It's sus. At the very least, we have to admit, even if you think this is real, you have to admit this is sus, rather, because they don't even use words like sus, and they should. Vehicle. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about my prints I had to leave in a bush where I changed outfits. I didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. So let's suppose this is real, okay? Just for a moment. And I understand like Candace Owens thinks it's not real, and I fucking can't stand Candace Owens. I know some of you guys might like her, dude. She's so full of shit. Like, she just makes shit up all the time. And she's just another one of these people that, like, I question everything. Okay, cool. You're real edgy. Yeah, we get it. You don't fucking believe everything. Literally everything to you is a conspiracy. A lot of people wanted her to get on the Karen Reed train. Not me. I'm glad she stayed off it. I'm glad Candace Owens stayed far away from the Karen Reed case, because I did not want. She was okay at first, like when she first came on the scene, but she's fucking nuts. And she just makes shit up all the time. She's being sued by the president of France's wife. The guy, the woman that smacks her husband around is like 25 years older than him. And she claims that she's a man, and she has nothing to back it up, like, at all. And she's being sued for it, and like wants Donald Trump to save her. I don't know. She's gone more than Alex Jones, I would say. Like, she won that lawsuit. She actually won. That lawsuit's over. I don't know. He's a dude. You guys, come on. What evidence is there? Show me the evidence of that. Show me a dick. Is that too hard? Show me a dick. I don't think that's too hard to ask for. Everybody's like, oh, she's a man. She's a man. She's a man. Okay, well, let's see the evidence. Let's see that. You can't go around saying that if you don't have whatever. Like, she makes shit up. She's like a Sean on the Gulf. Like, she's just makes shit up. I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm offending everyone tonight. Good. Let's suppose for a minute, though, this is legit. Okay, that this is a completely legitimate text message. That means, the way I'm reading this, is that this guy thought he wasn't going to get caught. Like, he thought he wanted to live to old age and have this be like a secret. And he thought that the only evidence to nail it, the only way to get caught was the gun. He thought that was the only way to get caught. You know, there's cameras everywhere, right? Well, don't tell the Canton police that, or the state police there. They don't look for cameras. But when real police get involved in shit, they just look for cameras. And there are no cameras. Like, they have cameras all over the place that have this dude's picture on it. So, like, and when that happens, they're gonna, and like, you're going after like a high profile person. This isn't going to be the state police involved. It's going to be the FBI, right? And they're going to find you. They're going to like invest all their resources. As soon as they put the picture out, you're fucked. You're done. As soon as you're like, ask the marathon bombers. Like, as soon as they put your picture out there, it's only a matter of time at that point. You are not getting away with this. So it goes on to say, remember when I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU, what does that mean? On Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Judging from today, I say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think it was a $2,000 scope. And then he goes, delete this exchange. Again, if this is real, this guy's fucking retarded. Like, there's no other way to describe it. Like, delete this exchange. Like, you don't know how that nothing's ever really deleted. I mean, Jennifer all you gotta do, I guess all you gotta do is just hire Jessica Hyde and Ian Whiffen, and you can just be like, oh no, it's in the database in the wall files. And let me give a 5-hour presentation about hamburgers and cupcakes and all the other food that I'm going to eat for breakfast this morning. And then I will, just bore the jury to death and make them think, I don't know if this happened or not. Right? This whole thing is odd. Anyway, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle. It's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Then he goes, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. And the roommate says, I'm much more worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interview or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. That he picked up another charge for that one. That was like intimidation or something, or like obstructing justice. So he got that. Anyway, I bring this all up because Matt Gutman went on TV today and said some interesting shit. Pull this up. The fuck?
Such specific text we have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference, David.
It was tough.
A duality. It's a duality, he said.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching. In a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait.
An intimate portrait? Gutman, what is wrong with you? An intimate portrait? Touching? What was touching about those messages where he's talking about like hiding the gun? Like, really? Who would ever? What is wrong with him? Keep in mind, this is the same guy. I had dinner with this guy on July 23rd, 2023 in Boston, and at some fancy steakhouse with Alan Jackson, Karen Reed, and a couple others. This is they wanted to introduce. I got to meet Matt Gutman. And we hit it off okay, and he was fully on board. He understood everything based on our conversation. Like, he totally knew that who the baddies were in the situation. And then as soon as the trial ends, when I'm at the trial outside the courthouse, he's there, and I'm like, "Hey, Gutman, let's take a selfie." I did it with Vinny Politan, whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea." Really? Yeah. You're scared to do it, Gutman? Gutless Gutman. Like, what do you mean? Oh, I'm a little too controversial. He can't, because that's before I knew that he did the interview with the McAlberts. So he was like Team McAlbert by then. So I'm too controversial to take a picture with. But apparently I'm controversial, but going on TV and talking about how heartfelt and beautiful the messages between a murderer and his transitioning lover are, apparently that's just insane. I can't believe this dude said that. It is so gutless of Gutman. So anyway, thanks, Patricia, for that $5 super chat. All right, Patricia sends $5 and goes, also, I love the term hyphenated cunt. We're going to listen to that audio tonight of the hyphenated cunt for sure, because she's earned that title. So thank you very much for that. Bukaki is Ukrainian Poorface sends $10 and goes, Holy shit, I can't believe Massachusetts managed to find a judge that's an even bigger cunt than Auntie Bev. I think we found our first candidate for Ratchet Madness 2026, free Turtleboy and free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Yeah, if you didn't know anything about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, this newest audio has, I don't care what side you're on with this. That audio is just outrageous and inhumane and horrible, and we're going to listen to it tonight. Christine sends $10 and goes, I heard you got the encore cold. I hope you feel better for the weekend. I got a winking emoji there. I hope I do too, Christine. And yeah, I don't know. Is that a real thing? The encore cold? I hope it goes. I mean, I'm a little bit better than I was a couple days ago, but yeah, definitely woke up. I could feel it. I could feel it coming on at the Wilbur. Like I definitely wasn't fully whatever, but I'm definitely coming around. I'm feeling better now, but we'll be good for the weekend. I promise. Next up, Kristen sends $20 and goes, can you give a birthday shout out to my son? Happy birthday, Timmy. Happy birthday, Timmy. You can be anything you want to be in this world. Don't settle for anything but the best, young man. Reach for the stars. And you too can one day sell a sold out show at the Wilbur Theater. Congratulations, young man. Next up, Heather sends $10 and goes, Dr. Turtleboy, I took a little trip down your fantastic playlist. Very impressive and very eye-opening. Thank you. Keep being the journalist that you are. From Cali. Free Turtleboy and free Kelsey. Well, thank you very much, Heather. Aaron sends $50 and goes, Friday was amazing. Thank you. Patio is the best. Thanks so much for the great night. Susan is the most loyal friend. There you go, Susan and Patio. Everybody loves you. Thank you very much, Aaron. Brenda sends $5 and goes, please wish my husband Dean a happy birthday and tell him he has to wait until the show is over for his gift. Wink, wink. Hashtag free Turtleboy. Wow. Wow. There you go. What's his name again? Dean. There you go. I'm getting Brenda all horned up for you. And in case you weren't clear there, she's going to give you a blowjob, my dude. So congratulations. You can thank me later. Okay. You can also send a turtle chat if you want. So thank you, sir. I don't know what this playlist is they're talking about, but appreciate that. Thank you. I get people laid all the time. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, guys. If you sat on the sidelines for the free Karen Reed movement, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You'll never see a ratio better than the one at a free Karen Reed thing ever. You just won't. The Wilbur Theater tonight, it would, bro. If you couldn't, oh my God, I'm telling you. And I said this early on that, like, I mean, they call us all daddies and shit. Like it's a thirsty crowd. You should have heard the Q&A when I was up there the other day. Like, get out there. What are you guys doing? All these guys on the sidelines. Oh, I don't want to get involved in that. You don't like women? What's wrong with you? There's women fucking everywhere in the free Karen Reed movement. See, you've never, come on. I mean, that's fine. That's fine if you don't want to. It's better for all the other guys to say thank you. But Turtleboy gets you laid. I mean, that's how it works around here. Anyway, next up. OB Nunna sends $10 and says, Dr. Theater Daddy, I had fun at your show. I would love to watch the premiere with you at the Wilbur or somewhere with a little more space. We were on top of each other. Worth it, though. Epic night will always have been part of your first. Now, I'm not sure where you were sitting, OB Nunna. I do feel like I went up to the balcony and I went up to the mezzanine to feel what it's like up there. I feel like there was a lot of leg room for a theater, to be honest with you. I thought, like, you go to any Patriots game or something like that, you're more packed in there. You're more packed in there. I do feel like it was crowded at the bottom. Like the bottom floor was crazy. I mean, they really jam them in there, but anyway, we'll see. Matty Mo sends $50 and says, DJ Matty Mo will be back doing his thing for the Halloween party. Yes, he will. If you guys missed it, October 24th, we'll be back in Malden at the Malden Moose for our third annual Halloween party. The last two have been free Karen Reed Halloween party. So this will be a free Turtleboy Halloween party. Because your boy has legal funds too. We were expecting last year to be a free Turtleboy one, but then we had a mistrial in the first one. It should have been over the first time. We made a joke. It's funny. We made a joke backstage about this during the whole Jimmy May. It's like for the documentary. I don't know if they'll make this one in. This will make the cut, but it's like, obviously we didn't want a mistrial. We wanted an acquittal. Like, it was great, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's just not the same. None of these cases are the same. None of them will ever be close to the Karen Reed case. There's no other way around it. But anyway, next up, Tracy sends $25 and says, "Can we call you Turt Reynolds?" Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. You can call me that if you want. Dina sends $25 and says, "I've donated to you consistently, but couldn't come to your hearings. I hope for only God's grace for you and your family." Well, thank you, Dina. I appreciate that. And we'll be good. We're going to, I have God on my side, but I also have even better than that. It's called 𝗵𝗏𝗄 and 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗃, and it's going to be awesome. And I have all you people. So we're going to be good. We're going to be great. So thank you very much for the well wishes. My next hearing, if anyone's interested, is on September 24th at Norfolk Superior Court at 2:00. And we'll be doing this Megamotion then, which should be out tomorrow. Next. Terry sends $25 and goes, "Did the environmental police ever bother to find out who killed and hung the beautiful snapping turtle in your parents' backyard?" It was actually the front yard. Or did that get dropped too? No. The Worcester police never found out who did that. They investigated Steve Cody. I'm convinced that he did it. But apparently they couldn't prove it was him. He's in jail for other related stuff, but I'm just convinced it was him. Okay, next up. Oh, and the Halloween party tickets. Yeah, how can people get them? Erica, what's Erica saying? Let's see. Please direct everyone to Erica Walsh. I don't know how to direct them to you, though, Erica. For Halloween party fun and issues, please and thank you. Okay. Yes, I'm not really sure what the answer to that is, but we'll figure that out. All right, next up. Oh, Erica just messaged me. We will announce this week. So there you go. Thank you. And it'll be on the justice page and all that stuff. All right, next up. Nicole sends $10 and goes, "Great show Friday night. Can you give a shout out to Pickles and Nipples from Vizcaya Lakes?" Okay. Shout out Nipples and Pickles. There's a duo right there. Thank you. Naomi sends a long one for $10. Not sure I'll read this whole thing. AG Andrea Campbell spoke about you, Turtleboy, on Jim and Marjorie. Really? Radio today. She basically said the only answer she can provide to all the problems in Norfolk County is to vote out 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗎 in the cast of characters. Can we get that movement happening? Well, why doesn't she do something? The witness intimidation for emotional harm and the government going after journalists for being investigative journalists is ridiculous. What's the plan? This is a good turtle chat. What's the plan to get these laws changed and journalism protected in the age of partisan divisiveness and framing? This is refreshing because it's not the cloying political tribalism that has infected too much of society. Yeah. I mean, you're right. This should be a bipartisan issue that journalism is not a crime. Unfortunately, because I am the whipping boy for this, I'm the one being charged with this. Some people just don't like me and they think it's like all about Turtleboy. It's not about Turtleboy. It's about free speech. It's about the First Amendment. It's about journalism. It's about activism. It's about being able to protest the government and call people out when they're lying and call out corruption and expose it. That's what I've done. That is not a crime ever, nor should it be. So I'd like to hear more about what Andrea Campbell said, if she actually acknowledged me. That's the Attorney General. We do know from her emails that Michael Morrissey contacted her and asked her to have me charged with civil rights violations and charge me with witness intimidation. We don't know what she said because her responses are redacted. However, we do know that whatever it was upset Michael Morrissey to the point where in October or in December of 2023, he writes an email to Proctor and Bukkake and all them and says, can you believe she's going after these people, but not Turtleboy for witness intimidation? What's up with that? Like, so she clearly told him no, but yet she's not doing anything. She hasn't even acknowledged Sandra Birchmore. She hasn't even done anything about that. It's like, cause she's got Trump derangement syndrome, that one. Wicked bad. It's like all these people, they get elected to office and all they want to do is talk about Trump. How about you talk about what's going on in your state? You know, we know you don't like Donald Trump, all the boomers, they don't like Donald Trump. We get it. Okay. But we got big problems in this state, right? And they're bipartisan issues. And how about you do something about that? How about you do something about that? Next. Russell sends $10, my guy. And he goes, hey, Turtle, everyone has a right to say or write whatever they want, but let's not forget employers' rights to not associate with any opinions they want representing their organization as well. Amen. That's free speech too. They're like, what about my free speech rights? What about the employer's free speech rights? What about their rights? They don't want to be associated with you. They don't want you working for them. They don't want your name on their website. That's their right, right? Why are your rights the only ones that matter? What about when your rights conflict with somebody else's rights? You don't have a right to your job. You don't have a right to force someone to give you a paycheck every week. That's not a right. Next. Gypsy Soul Astro Photos sends $8 and goes, listen, Turtle, the kid's from a wholesome Mormon family and was raised in that faith. It reeks of Utah. I don't know much about Mormons. I don't know. I know Joseph Smith had a whole bunch of wives and, things get a little weird in Utah. They don't really drink alcohol out there and everybody's got a long beard. I don't want to generalize. I don't know. I heard Utah's beautiful. I heard they have a lot of nice mountains out there, but I don't know much about it. I don't know if we have any Utah turtle riders out there, but, whatever. Anyway. Oh, wait. Is Sean in the Gulf really going on Twisted Tragedies? Oh, bro. He's hit some low times, if that's the truth. But, all right. Next up. Nicole sends $5 and goes, the texts are super fake. I'm sorry. It sounds like a boomer trying to write like a 22-year-old. It's giving Donna Adelson's Jailhouse script vibes. Yeah, a little bit. Butch sends $10, goes, hey, Dr. Turtle, I just wanted to say Christine is a home wrecking whore. Fight me like Walker, you fucking homie. Wait, who's fight me like Walker? You fucking homie? What's a homie? HOMI? So is Christine your wife, Butch? I don't get it. I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's more to that story. Maybe Christine's not so bad. I don't know. Give her a break, will you? You guys can work it out. Just go to therapy. You'll feel much better. Instead of giving me $10, give it to your therapist next time. All right. Next. Marsha sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, thank you for saying what I've been saying about the trans stuff. You were blunt, but not too unhinged. It's it's a really simple thing. It's like he has a dick. So that's it. It's like you read my mind. I don't think that's that controversial. Sharon sends $20, says, call 𝗫𝗄𝗄. Oh, yeah, I'll get him right on that. Tell him that 𝗃𝗏 can authenticate the texts and disseminate them to everyone. He's a real pro at that. I know, that's true. He can do that. And some will disappear. Only when they start talking about him, though. He's an expert. All right, next. Melissa sends $5, goes, I'm from Utah. This tracks. We do talk like that here. The Mormon culture is also a major contributor. Well, that's interesting. Someone was just bringing that up. So that's interesting. Okay. Now we have here some cash apps. Okay. Barry Lewis earlier in the day sent $129 and said, pray for Boston Mikey. Justice for John. Yes, we love Boston Mikey. Thank you very much for that, Barry Lewis. Emily sends $5 and says, please look at Grant's ex Twitter and what he said regarding your case. It's false and insane and total misinformation. It's fucking Grant. What do you expect? Oh, really? Oh, that's shocking. Especially last week. Please call him up on the show tonight. Well, I don't have his number. And number 2, can you please explain all these texts I keep seeing on Twitter of fake victim? How is 𝗬𝗄𝗄𝗃 able to get those? So yeah, if you guys don't follow 𝗬𝗄𝗄𝗃 already, he's been apparently, he has her phone extraction, apparently. I did not give it to him. I can definitely 1000% say that. But when I first got her phone extraction, I couldn't believe what I was reading. It is the most insane shit I've ever read. And it completely exonerates me. It's all exculpatory, and it proves that I was set up. And we've referenced it in 𝗏𝗏 letters and all that stuff, but I've never actually published the whole thing or anything like that. But I've shared it prior because there was no protective order. I could have shared it with who I wanted. A protective order was put in place 8 months after I got it. And so now apparently 𝗬𝗄𝗄𝗃 on Twitter, also known as Jason Broyles, has been sharing the entire phone extract, right? That's what he's apparently doing. It comes up on my Twitter. I don't comment on it. I don't share it because there's a protective order. I can't talk about it. I can't share it. I don't even want to fuck with it. I don't even want to give them an excuse to be like, oh, there's Turtleboy. He's drawing attention to it. You know what I mean? He's commenting on it. I'm not even giving anything like that. But yeah, that's how he has it, is because I don't know how the fuck he got it. I don't even know who I shared it with, but I could share it with whoever I wanted to share it with back in the day because there's no protective order and they can't put the genie back in the bottle. So I can't talk about her phone extraction. Everyone else can except for me. The protective order only applies to me. I'm the only one who can't talk about it. So that's, exactly like she's sharing it all over the place. Glamour Suze, and says, I'm not subject to a protective order and I'm being kind. It's all exactly like, he's put it out because I don't know why he's doing it, but he just got sued by her. Maybe he's pissed. I don't know. Maybe he's upset about it. Or maybe he just wants to expose the truth. I don't know. Whatever. You'd have to ask him. All right, next up. Okay. No, actually, no. Next, we're almost done here. So that's Emily. So I didn't see what Grant posted, but if you're new to Grant, that's just what he always does. Carly sends $5 and says, Portnoy has crusty panties. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Jim sends $10 and goes, last guy who used Karen Reed tribe for sex got 60 days in jail. Okay. Stop it. They can't all send you to jail. They can't all be crazy, right? She was a special one. That was different, and that was just bad luck. Let's be honest. Most women aren't going to send you to jail. Let's be honest. Alan sends $18, goes free Turtleboy and free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Amen, sir. Amen. Okay, cool. So if anybody else wants their message as well out to the class, click on the link. I don't know the name of the Twitter account. Maybe others can fill you in on that, but click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy, and we can do it that way. All right. First thing I want to talk about real quick is Dave Portnoy, because he started chirping at me last night. All right, let me show you this. All right. So this came across my feed the other day. Some guy called Colin Bandy. He goes to Texas Tech University. He says, I appreciate Barstool for giving me the amazing opportunity, but this needs to be addressed. And he makes this post talking about how on September 10th, he's an intern for Barstool Sports, and he has like access to the Texas Tech Barstool account. So Barstool has created just like a plethora, an army of Twitter, social media handles, because it's a business, right? So they've sent their brand all over the country. The college students is their primary demographic, right? And so obviously you need a Barstool affiliate at every major university that does sports. And Texas Tech is obviously a really big school. It's Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech. Like, it's a pretty important school. And so this kid worked for them. He was like an intern. And they have like interns at every college in the country who work for free probably. And their goal is to eventually get a job at Barstool one day and whatever. Okay. So anyway, he apparently was in charge of running or had access to the Texas Tech account, Barstool account. And he made a post saying on that account, I made a single post offering prayers for Charlie Kirk's family. No politics, no agenda, just basic human decency. Barstool's response, I was yelled at, locked out of the accounts, and tossed aside without warning. Their excuse, we don't talk about politics. That's a joke. Barstool talks politics whenever it benefits them. They pick and choose their moments. But apparently praying for a grieving family is where they draw the line. Exactly. If I've been following Barstool for a long time, they don't shy away from politics. Like, go back to look at what they said about BLM in 2020. They had a lot to say about politics back then. They have plenty to say. Now, the argument is going to be, well, that's only from your personal account. On your personal accounts, you could say whatever you want, just not in a Barstool affiliate account. And to that, I would say, what the fuck is political about saying thoughts and prayers for somebody who just got their brains blown out? How is that political? That's not political at all. At all. Like, where is the politics in that? It's just like thoughts and prayers, family of the murdered person. That's not whatever. Now, Dave interviewed Trump, and their response to this would be, well, that's his personal. That's not on the Barstool Sports Twitter account. That's their rule. Okay? But again, it's not like the account is not that's not a political statement. So like the no politics rule doesn't apply here. So it goes on to say, I would have said the exact same thing if it were Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or anyone else. Death is bigger than politics. Loss is bigger than politics. But at Barstool, even compassion has to fit their narrative. Dave Portnoy and Barstool love to pretend they're rebels and they're uncensored, that they're different. The truth, they're hypocrites, weak, a fraud of a company that silences its own people for showing humanity. They'll exploit tragedy when it gets clicks, but fire someone for showing empathy. It was once a dream to run Barstool Texas Tech. Now I'm embarrassed I ever called myself part of this company. Barstool showed their true colors, and the world deserves to know exactly what they are. Okay? So, they literally, fired him for that. Like, not that he was getting paid or whatever. And so I go and I retweet this, and I'm like, wait a minute. So this is my thoughts. I tagged him in it. Now, Dave has 4 million, I think, followers. Like, he's like almost a billionaire probably by now. He's fucking one of the most famous people in the world, really, right? And he's like, he's interviewed Trump. He's been on Tucker a million times. He's Dave Portnoy. And he, just like me, he's a Massachusetts boy who had a dream to be an independent content creator, if you will. And I respect his hustle. I think his story is great, right? He like built his own brand, printing out newspapers and, before blogs were even a thing, and passing them out for free on the subway and charging local companies $100 a month to advertise on him. And he built that into a multi-billion-dollar empire. You have to, I respect that. I do respect that. But he's obviously grown, and more money, more problems. And I understand once you become really big, there's going to be an element to selling out. But that will never be me. I will never, ever, I can promise you all that. I will never do that. Ever. Never. I'm just always going to tell you what I think about everything. Like I went on a rant tonight about like transgender stuff. That's going to offend some people. And if they leave, oh, well, I don't care. I'm willing to be like, well, if you're the kind of person that quits the first time you disagree with me, I don't want you here. You weren't, I'm not going to like stifle myself to kiss your fucking ass because you might hit the unsubscribe button. Please get the fuck out of here. Now, he did do a lot during COVID too, right? Dave saved a lot of, like I think he's good. Overall, I think he's a good person. I think he's a smart business owner. I think he's funny. I admire him, right? But the purpose of me tweeting this out was to help this kid out. I don't even know this fucking kid. He's from Texas Tech. What do I care about him? Like some intern from Texas Tech. I just saw something wrong, and I have the platform to share this. And I know Dave knows who I am. He talks about me on his fucking show. He's talked about me and Kirk before. Like, he knows. He's not stupid. So I'm like, well, maybe I can help this kid get his job back. So I tweet this out. I said, wow, did Stu Presidente really fire this employee for sending prayers to Charlie Kirk's family after he was murdered? Apparently they have a no politics rule at Barstool that allows Dave to be a regular political commentator on Fox News and forced all his employees to grovel for BLM in 2020. But offering prayers to a grieving family gets you fired. This is disgusting, Portnoy. You should hire him back and give him a raise. And these were the messages, by the way. These are the messages that this kid got. This like from his boss, Ben. Please do not post about the Charlie Kirk incident. Hard reminder, no politics on these accounts. No comments about what's going on. Not our place. Not our world. Don't touch Charlie Kirk stuff until told differently. Not our world? How is that not your world? I mean, here's my question. On September 11th, is the Texas Tech Twitter account allowed to tweet out and say, thoughts and prayers for all the 9/11 victims? Because I know that's not your world. I know you're only supposed to talk about Texas Tech football, which fucking 1% of the population gives a fuck about. I know that, right? That's only talk about, let's funnel another beer, bro, and watch Texas Tech football, bro. Yeah. Cool. Bro culture. Saturdays for the boys. I get it. You've created a culture for fucking retards. Congratulations. Right. But some people, like to occasionally talk about different things. Right. So you can't talk or can you only, because I assume if the account tweeted something about like thoughts and prayers for everybody who died in 9/11, I don't think you would be fired for that. And it only reinforces that, like, it's okay to kill somebody because Charlie Kirk had controversial opinions that not everyone agree with. It's kind of okay to kill him. That's kind of what they're saying. The people that died in 9/11 are all innocent victims, but Charlie Kirk, we're going to stay away from that. He's not really innocent. That's what they're saying with this shit. And Dave knows this is wrong. He fucking knows this is wrong. And granted, he probably has no idea this is even happening because this is micromanaging. This is way below him at the company. He's eating pizza and doing whatever. But you guys got not our place. Now, the kid says, that's my fault. I just deleted it. Okay. What was the miscommunication? Did you see the message? Did you ignore the message? I was never in this chat, so I didn't see it. Okay. Who tweeted the political stuff? Me. I did it. I didn't realize it was such a big no-no. That's my bad completely. I'm assuming y'all logged into the accounts because I was logged out. I also made this before the announcement to not do that. Sorry about that. When I log back on, I'll remove that slide. So he takes like full responsibility here. Like he's like, I'm sorry, my bad. He gets fired for that? Like that's fucked up. That's fucked up. And so the kid makes this, I'm like, okay, I don't think this kid should lose his job over this. So here I am rooting for the little man and trying to use my platform to alert Dave Portnoy to this. Like, dude, you should hire, I assume he doesn't even know this is going on. I mean, you should hire this kid back. And guess what? It does get his attention. And instead of owning it, he has a fucking fit. He goes in a full turtle derangement syndrome. All right. So he goes 3 times he tweets about me. Let's see what the first one says. And this is kind of English. He said, could have just asked me, you turtle boy, you idiot. You turtle boy, you idiot. Okay. That's a good job, Dave. Off to a good start. I hate this kid. He was an intern in a program of 200 interns. We have pretty hard and fast rules not to do politics on or personal opinions on those accounts. This was in place before any of this. If you run a brand account for any company, you don't do personal stuff from the brand. It's day one stuff. I get that. I get that you wouldn't want somebody on the Texas Tech account to be like, talk about abortion or Donald Trump or Joe Biden or something very divisive. I get that. But offering thoughts and prayers for somebody who was just murdered is not divisive at all. Like that, on what planet is that political or divisive? Day one stuff. Okay, sure thing. We don't want 200 teenage interns giving their takes on the world. Every single account followed the rules. He was the only one that didn't. And then he also started fighting with people in comments, calling them assholes. All I saw him do in the chat was apologize and offer to take it down. It had nothing to do with what he said and just how we run a massive intern program. To be honest, I didn't know it happened till I saw the kid call me a fraud. So you didn't know it happened. Okay. Maybe if he reached out to me first, instead of going wacko, I could have helped. If he reached out, how the fuck is he going to reach out to you? He's some fucking kid from Texas Tech and you're Dave Portnoy. Like how the hell is he going to reach you? 1-800 fucking 𝗀𝗃. What's he going to do? How is he going to reach you? Tell me that. Like that's what's fucked up about this is Dave used to be the little guy. And that's my thing. It's like, I'll always have empathy for the little guy because I used to be the little guy. And he's like forgotten what it's like to be the little guy with controversial opinion. That's literally how he made his whole fucking brand. That's how he made Barstool Sports. And how is he going to reach him? Like, people like he can reach him on social media. Do you understand my inbox every day? I don't have time to return all the messages I get from people. I have 5% of his following. I have 160 followers. He's got 3.8 million. So yeah, I mean, it's just, he can't realistically reach him. But he goes, yeah, I didn't even know what happened. Exactly. That's why I'm telling you. That's why that kid doesn't have a platform to reach you and get your attention. I do. So that's what I'm doing here. Oh God, it's his business. He can do what he wants. Yeah, no fucking shit. We know that. Okay. But we have a right to comment on whether or not that's cool or not, and whether or not he's a massive hypocrite for doing so. Jesus Christ. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks. Good comment. So I have no sympathy for him. He's trying to use this to build his career. Scumbag move, to be honest. Okay. And then he tweets at me again. So Turtleboy, you idiot. How dumb is Dr. Turtleboy? You're talking about interns, you fucking moron. You think we want 200 interns spouting off about whatever they want from Barstool branded accounts? No, not about whatever they want. How about just like it's thoughts and prayers for a murdered person? How about that? Is that too much to ask for? Okay. If this kid DM'd me before calling me a fraud, maybe I could have helped. You're out of your depths. I mean, exactly. Like, that's what I think. That's why I tweeted this at him, because he's not a bad guy. Like, he saved all these companies. Like, he could have saved it. He could have helped this kid. He should help this fucking kid. And he still should. He could still have a chance to make this right, in my opinion. But he calls me dumb. I'm dumb? Bro, you thought John O'Keefe...
I would not vote. I said I would not vote her guilty, but if you done that, I think she did it. I don't... I said I would not vote her guilty, but if you done that, I think she did it. I don't... I said I would not vote her guilty, but if you done that, I think she did it. I don't...
Yeah, if you think that, and this is all it comes down to, if you think John O'Keefe was hit by a car, you're just retarded. We've been over this a million times. So he's just like, after that comment, he forever gives up the right to call anyone else dumb. You don't. If you think there's any chance in the world that John O'Keefe was hit by a motor vehicle, you're fucking retarded. And you've been rebuked by 2 juries. That's it. You're retarded. You're dumb. You're extremely stupid. And then he responds to that. So I point this out to him. He doesn't like this. So he chirps back. And he goes, what do you say this time? He goes, buddy, I have a life. I'm not spending 30 hours a day hanging outside a courthouse defending a woman who won't even acknowledge your existence anymore. Ooh, okay. So what happened there? Did I lose it? Oh yeah. So that means, so right away, if he's saying shit like that about a woman that won't even recognize your existence, he's like trying to take a shot at me there. But all he's doing by saying that is admitting, without saying so, that he follows Turtleboy religiously. That's what that, if you're making a comment about that, about Karen Reed, not acknowledging my existence or not talking to me, that means you follow all the fucking drama of this all. That means you're paying attention, right? To me, Dave Portnoy, I mean, that's his biggest mistake. He should have just ignored me. If he didn't want to talk to me, like giving me, even people like, oh, he owned you. Oh, I won this exchange because he's the bigger account. Him even acknowledging my existence is a fucking win for me. I hope people understand that. Like, even talking about this, like if he should have just ignored me. Like, he just gave me all people like, who's this fucking guy? I don't fucking know. Again, millions of people follow this guy and they see this shit. And I triggered him so much that he fucking quote tweeted me 3 times and cried about it. I clearly got to him. Clearly this struck a chord with him. And it struck a chord with him because he knows it's true. And he knows that old Dave from 2010 or 2008, whatever, would have never been about this, would have never fired this kid. Because it eats him up. He's got all the money in the world now. He does whatever he wants. He sells Prez. He's having a great time. But it kind of irks him a little bit that he can't completely be himself. That eats him up a little bit. Part of him wishes he could be himself totally. And he can't. He can't because he's corporate Dave now. And he sell it. And what's crazy about this is he's already got fuck you money. You know, he's already got fuck you money. He's got more money than he could ever spend in a million lifetimes. Right? So he can afford to not give a fuck. That's like Elon Musk that has fuck you money. And that's why he doesn't give a fuck. He just says whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He doesn't care at all. Like, you reach a certain point, you just don't care. And and I'm telling you, that's what triggered him about this, is that he knows I'm right. I'm what he used to be. Right? Saying whatever you want, being real out there. And he's playing it off. Oh, I don't pay attention to that stuff. What'd he say? He goes, I got, no. So he thought this was like a shot at me. I'm not spending 30 hours a day, bro. There's only 24 hours away, but 24 hours in a day, but I digress. Hanging outside a courthouse, defending a woman who won't even acknowledge your existence anymore. Defending a woman, or I spent a couple hours. First of all, I'm inside the courthouse. I'm a journalist. And on top of that, it's also like we did something amazing here. Like we fought a social injustice. It's historic. I just filled the Wilbur Theater over it. You might have seen it. That's what really offends him. That's what really pisses him off about this, is that he knows this is true. And he wasn't part of it because he was too gutless to be. A lot of people at his company were. Jerry Thornton wrote about it a lot. He was good. Casey Smith did Free Karen Reed a lot. A lot of people at Barstool were down with the Free Karen Reed movement. I didn't see really any besides maybe Gay Pat that were like kind of made comments that maybe she did it, and him. Because he's, you know why he didn't get involved in the Karen Reed case? Because he's a pussy. At the end of the day, he's a fucking pussy. He's too much of a coward to take a stand. He didn't want to be part of the Karen Reed case and look into it and talk about it because he didn't want to offend people. At the end of the day, he's too afraid to offend the state cops because he saw what happened to me. Because again, I'm what Dave Portnoy kind of in his, like he enjoys the money more. He enjoys being rich and famous and all that stuff more. But part of him misses what he used to be. And I remind him of that. Right. And he knows that. He knows that like the Karen Reed case, he might have jumped on that 15 years ago. He might have made a thing on that. But he's too much of a gutless coward because, oh, this might upset our corporate sponsors with the Massachusetts State Police. They might not like this. I have to stay in good with state troopers. Bukkake's not going to come to my pizza reviews anymore if I do that. Right. And so that's what, and I can tell him even responding to me and quote tweeting me like this was a big mistake on his part because it shows I'm getting under his skin. I've triggered him. And he goes, I got no clue what happened in that case. I just saw the docs and went on with my life. Well, if you watch the documentary, then you know that Arca testified that John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a fucking car, don't you? And you know that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long did I call? You know all that. And you know, if you watch the documentary, then you pretty much caught up. Because as bad as that documentary was, it did lay out the facts of the case. The facts of the case are what they are. Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with a motor vehicle. The downside of that documentary is Karen Reed came across as cold and heartless. Like that's how it came across to a lot of people, not to everyone, not to a lot of you people. A lot of you people thought that she came across as warm and, you know, caring and whatever. But I mean, there were several points in that documentary, and I'm a Karen Reed supporter. I'm a John O'Keefe supporter, but there were several points in that documentary where I'm like, oh, please don't say this. Please don't say this. And then she says it. The worst one was when I forgot what it was, when she's like, oh man, when this is all over, I just need, you know, a good night's sleep or something. And I'm like, don't say a drink. Don't say a drink. Don't say a drink. Don't say a drink. And a drink. Okay. 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 And again, this is like a Karen Reed supporter where I'm like, oh, please don't say that. Please don't say a drink. Please don't say a drink. Please don't. They're trying to make you out to be like, I know she didn't do it, but they're trying to make it out her to be like this raging alcoholic with an attitude problem. Right. And like, so don't talk about how you want to fucking drink. Whatever you do, don't talk about that. You know, like, don't do it. Don't do it. And then she did it. And I'm like, oh, could have done without that. Could have done without that. And, you know, a lot of the comments, and I get it. But unfortunately, when you're on trial for murder and your life is on the line, like that's when it's okay to be a little fake. That's when it's okay not to be kind of your true, authentic self, because your life is on the line. And if this jury thinks you're an asshole, it's not fair, but they control your life. So you got to convince them that you're not a bad person, right? You got to make yourself likable to them. It's like one of the only times in the world in life when it's okay to be fucking fake is when you're on trial for murder. And the fact of the matter is that Karen Reed, there's a lot of things about her that made her unlikable to the jury. Her facial reactions, those voicemails are exculpatory. Those voicemails were great. If you think about it. They're great. A lot of people don't think about it. A lot of people are too caught up in her tone in those voicemails where she's yelling and screaming at him. And they're like, whoa, I've dealt with this before. They're like, yeah, I've seen this before. And they don't even think about it. Like, wait a minute. Why would she be leaving those voicemails if she thought he was dead? Why would she be leaving those voicemails if she thought he was dead? That's the important part. So again, we're out here trying to, and there was one comment that she said when she was coming out of court. That was like, what'd she say? When they asked her about like John, and she's like, she's like, oh, we were dating. Remember that? And I'm like, no. It's like, why are you making it so easy for them to just use shit? Like, we all know you're innocent. We all know you didn't do this. We all know that comment doesn't change a fucking thing when it comes to the fact that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. But why even give them that? You know what I mean? Just, it's the only time when in the world when you have the opportunity to be fake, when you should be fake, was when you're on trial for murder, right? And you're being put up on charges by dishonest people who are trying to make you seem like you're something you're not. You can't play into that. You can't. And so, yeah, there's that. I mean, I'm just saying, but he knows. If he watched the documentary, he knows. But again, he's the kind of person that, like, that's why that doc wasn't good. Because people like him are like, whoa, crazy bitch. Like, that's how they see it. Simple guys, But anyway, that's his bitch fit. So anyway, I'm in his head a little bit, I think. All right. So let's talk about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. So if you guys aren't familiar, let's see if I got some Kelsey Fitzsimmons pictures here. Download it. Give me one sec. And this is one story I said I wasn't going to talk about because it involves my lawyer. All right. All right. So Kelsey Fitzsimmons is or was a North Andover policewoman. All right. She just got on the job in 2024 at some point. Got a picture of her somewhere. There she is, taking her oath there. Okay. And she just got on the job. Now, I think she's 28 years old. Just had a baby. Must have just had a baby shortly after getting on the force with her fiance, Justin Alayan. Is that how you pronounce his name? He is a firefighter in North Andover. And I saw his last name. It was AYLAIAN or something like that. And I'm like, that name sounds, and he's from Stowe, which is Greg Hill's hometown. And I'm like, oh, that would be Neshoba Regional High School. I'm like, there was a kid that ran cross country for and track for Neshoba with that same last name. So I Googled it, and it turns out it's his brother. He was like a 4-minute miler. It was crazy. But anyway, so that's her fiance. And they're not married, and he alleges that she's crazy, right? That she is having postpartum depression and that she's making statements that are unsafe for the baby. This is what he's alleging. And that there was a blow up on some trip or something, and that she blew up in front of the family. I don't know all the details. Okay. And I've stayed away from this case because there's a lot in these domestics. It's a lot of he said, she said. And as somebody who has been a victim of one of these domestics where somebody just lies about everything that you said and they get a order on you, I know it. So like this guy went and got an order on her, and it could be real or it could not be real. I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough. And, but at the end of, I know from experience that these can be bullshit. These absolutely can be bullshit. These ex parte orders where somebody goes in front of a judge, tells a one-sided story, then you get it. So they are to go serve this order on Kelsey Fitzsimmons, the North Andover police, her own police department. Now, she had been out of the job for a while earlier in the year because of, I don't know if she went to McLean Hospital. There's a whole bunch of shit that happened. She had some mental health issues because of the postpartum, and then got her gun back in June, I think, like that. I don't know. But yeah, like this is the thing, Britt, that makes it hard to get into. Exactly. This is why this are my thoughts exactly from Britt here. This is why it's hard. It's hard for me to get into this. It's number one, because my lawyer's involved, so I'm biased, and I have no credibility if I take up the case of Kelsey Fitzsimmons being completely innocent. It's people are just going to assume it's because my lawyer is Tim Bradel and her lawyer is Tim Bradel. You know what I mean? And if I were to start bashing her, then that would make things very awkward with my lawyer. So that's why I've tried to avoid this as much as possible. It's also a domestic situation, which I know from experience how much he said, she said can go into these domestic situations. For all I know, again, I don't know Kelsey Fitzsimmons. For all I know, she is crazy. And she was, and Justin Alain was actually concerned for his baby and didn't want her, for the sake of the baby, didn't want her around. Didn't want her to pull a fucking Lindsay Clancy or some shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know these people. So I don't want to put my name on something and attach my reputation and my opinion to something if I don't know you. I took up the case of Karen Reed because I knew it. I knew it. I knew she didn't kill John O'Keefe. I fucking knew it. I've never been more passionate. I don't get into something and really jump into it unless I fucking know it. That's why I've avoided some of this other shit too. Like I avoided the Enrique Delgado Garcia one because I didn't really know it. You know, I didn't really know it. I didn't really know that the Justin Root situation that a lot of people talk about. Young man that was gunned down by Boston police. It happened in Brookline, which is in Norfolk County, but it began in Boston, and same county, and the cops were never charged or anything like that. And you know, but he had a gun. It wasn't a real gun, but a lot of, and he was, I don't know, he led the police, but it was a complicated situation. He led them on a chase. It was a gun, threats, all this stuff. I didn't touch it because I didn't know. I'm not getting involved in shit I don't know about. I know Sandra Birchmore. I was even hesitant about Sandra Birchmore initially because I'm like, I didn't know. I just assumed it was a suicide because that's what they said it was. Why would they lie? You know, naive me thinking that. Anyway, I avoided the Kelsey Fitzsimmons one because it's a domestic situation. But as you said, body cams. That's my biggest. That's why I think Kelsey Fitzsimmons should be free over everything, because at this point, fuck any police department that doesn't have body cams. Fuck any police. I hope any police department that doesn't have body cams in 2025, every single person they should arrest should go free until you get fucking body cams. It is inexcusable in 2025 not to have body cams. And we need to start punishing police departments that don't have it because it's inexcusable. You know why it's inexcusable? Because body cams exonerate police 99% of the time. Police should want body cams. It is one of the greatest own goals of all time when Black Lives Matter in 2014 pushed for body cams. They're like, we demand all police have body cams. That was one of their big things, is we demand all police have body cams. And then police departments started getting body cams. And 99 times out of 100, the body cams exonerated the cop. I've seen it so many times. Whereas previously, it would be a he said, she said with the police. The defendant says this happened. This person said this happened. People are going to believe the police, but it also gives them away. Like, nobody's going to believe the truth. Nobody's going to believe anything but the truth if you have a body cam. That's it. Exactly. We just spent don't tell me there's no money for this shit. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me there's no money for fucking body cams. Every other police department has figured this shit out. I couldn't believe this. I've never even heard of police departments that don't have body cams. I didn't even think that was a thing anymore. I know apparently Haverhill doesn't have them either because of the Jigga situation up there. That's JFK's cause du jour. The guy that was George Floyded by the Haverhill police. They don't have body cams. It's like, are you kidding me? As far as I'm concerned, if your police department doesn't have body cams, you don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore. There's absolutely no excuse for it. You guys got all this money for special prosecutors and fucking Jessica Hyde and all this other bullshit, but you don't have body cams. Get the fuck out of here. Then let them walk free. Then let everyone walk free. That's what I think. Until you get your fucking shit together and take criminal justice seriously, let all, if bad guys got to go free, then bad guys got to go free. Get your fucking shit together. Get a fucking body cams on every cop in America, and cops should want that more than anyone. Because what we have here is a situation where a North Andover cop went by himself with no one else to serve, and I think the guy's name is Noonan, to serve her with a restraining order. And supposedly she's so volatile and dangerous, right? And she's got a gun. You should have more than one cop for that. I'm sorry. Because if she's so dangerous, right, then you should want that. And this is where accounts differ. According to the police, of which she is one, right? This is her own police department saying this. There were 3 cops, but they weren't all there when they did not all witness the shooting, correct? I know that there were 3 officers. Did they all witness the shooting, though? I know people keep saying this. I know there was 3 cops there, but again, this is why I don't know this whole thing, and you can fill me in. Exactly. He's the only one that's the important part. Thank you, Missy. You redeemed yourself. Only one went upstairs. That's the important part. So the people are, there was 3 cops. Cool fact, bro. Cool fast fact. If they didn't witness it, then there's fucking only one. I'm sorry. There's only one. If only one of them witnessed it, then there's only one. There's one and then 2 guys jerking off in the corner. That's it. Stop it. So they go to serve this woman. It was only them 2. Exactly. So he goes to serve this woman. And according to... Now, this is the part I don't understand. Was the baby there? Does anyone know? Was the baby there? Maybe somebody can hook me up here, can fill me in. Was the baby there? Yes. Wait, yes? No. Yes? No. Okay, we're off to a great start. I think so. Yes, the baby was there. Yes. The baby was there. Okay, so the baby was there. Thank you very much. The baby was there. She was holding the baby. Okay. So, first of all, this sounds incredibly volatile. You're going into a house And I believe the order says that the baby leaves, right? I mean, were they going to take the baby? You take a mother away from her fucking baby and she's supposedly postpartum and is having mental health issues and is dangerous, and you send one cop up to do that? The fuck are you thinking is going to happen? So anyway, according to the police, the one cop that went up, she pulled a gun on him. All right. And, a lot of women, they'd freak out. And she pulled a gun on him. So he fired in self-defense and shot her in the titty. Now, every cop I've seen and heard, I mean, that's Justin Root, this situation, right? He didn't have a real gun, but they thought he did. And they lit him up. And they just kept shooting because that's what they do when you are a threat. They don't shoot. I've never heard of such a thing, shooting once. I've never heard of such a thing. Have you ever heard of a cop just shooting once? That's weird to me. Shoots her in the titty. And, the baby was apparently there. Now, according to her, I believe this is the narrative. I don't know. You guys might know more than me. I'm under the impression that her story is that she put a gun to her own head and said, if I can't have the baby, I'm going to kill myself. Is that correct? I don't want to move on if that's not correct. He shot twice and missed. What? The baby was downstairs. I'm hearing. See, I don't know. I need to know the story better. I do not know the story much at all. So she claims she had the gun. We definitely know more than you about this case. You do. I have not. I've stayed away from this for a reason. I have to catch up. But I'm learning about it from you people. I know the basic facts. I know the biggest problem here is there's no body cams. That is the biggest problem. That is one thing I know is a problem, and that I can fully opine is very problematic. The baby was outside. Okay, so the baby was not in the room with her. Even so, the woman ends up getting shot. So she's in the hospital, recovering. She's had several surgeries. Okay. And she just lost everything, right? In seconds. Job, fiance, baby, all of it. Right. And whatever. Okay. So she's having a tough time. And, you put a gun to your head. You don't, part of that, it's like why would he shoot her if she had a gun to her head? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This could all be fixed with body cams. This could all but can anybody answer me that? Why would he shoot her if she had a gun to her head? Why would he? That doesn't make any sense either, does it? See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anyone? Well, maybe the chat can help me out with this. Why would he shoot her if she had a gun to her head? I know he says that. But how does it make sense if he shot her and she had the gun? Why would he shoot her with the gun to this? So he just wanted to kill her? Well, like he was premeditated. He said it was, I know he says it was pointed at him. I know he says that. But how does it make sense? How does her story, because her story, that kind of doesn't make sense either. Like, why would he shoot her if it was pointed at her own head? Why would he do that? Although, that's a good point. The second that she even reached for the gun, he would, that would make sense. She might not even got it to her head. She might just reached for the gun. And the second, because she's like, fuck it, I want to kill myself. And he interprets that as a threat and he shoots her. That I could see. That I could see happening. Either way, she gets arrested, okay, and charged in the hospital with I believe, attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon, I believe. And so it was like a crazy story when it first happened, and she hires Bradel because you got a problem with the popo now, you call Tim Bradel. That's his thing. And, government corruption too. So anyway, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if she was like threatening to kill herself. I think he just did it because she reached for the gun. That's what that's my, based on learning this from you people, that's the story that makes the most sense to me, is that he panicked when he saw her reach for a gun and he just shot. That's it. That's what I think happened. So there you go. Anyway, I don't believe that he like hunted her down or intended. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. It sounds reckless. I think it sounds like he overreacted. You see somebody reach for a gun, it's a scary thing. But anyway, they bring this in front of a grand jury. The grand jury does not indict her for attempted murder. So now she's facing charges that are not as serious, that only have like a maximum of 5 years in jail, I think. Yeah, and this is let's see what this is. They were happily engaged. I mean, she's a good-looking woman. Yeah, she's very pretty. They were just engaged and happily engaged and just welcomed their baby, but their happiness came to an end when I don't know where I got this from, because according to him, she was threatening their son, according to him. Again, it's a he said, she said thing. There she is. This is her in the hospital being arraigned. All right. Not going to lie. When I first saw this, I was like a little bit of Leah Genduso vibes, a little bit, because she's very good looking. She's very attractive. And, her social media is very provocative, very provocative. I did get a little bit of Genduso vibes from this, and fuck you if you don't agree with me with that. That's just the vibe I got. Okay. And, there she is. And here she is outside of court. So the woman on the right there is Martha Coakley. I'm like, when I saw this picture, I asked Braid, I'm like, bro, Martha Coakley is, if you guys you don't know, Martha Coakley is perhaps the biggest loser in Massachusetts history, because she is a Democrat who couldn't get elected to Senate or governor twice. She lost. She lost to Republicans in both races. Do you know how hard that is in Massachusetts? In 2010, she ran for senator and lost to Scott Brown. We'd never elect senators who are Republicans ever. We had one for 2 years that took over for Ted Kennedy, and Martha Coakley lost to Scott Brown. And then she ran for governor 4 years later against Charlie Baker, and she lost to him too. So I'm like, and now I see Martha Coakley with Tim Bradel, and she's doing this pro bono. She volunteered to do this. So I'm sure she's a fine attorney. And so they've been trying to bust her out of jail for a while because there's no reason. She's been in jail. And she's not like a danger because she's not being charged with attempted murder. Like, bail is a right in this country. We don't put people in jail and hold them there indefinitely, right? But as you saw with me, you get your bail revoked over nothing, or they can just have a dangerousness hearing and put you in for 120. And that's what Mello tried to do with me after the fake victim showed up at court to have me violated on the order in February of 2024, right after I got out of jail. Anyway, man, you guys know this shit way more than I do. I need to learn it. Yeah, bail is to ensure your appearance at trial. That's all bail is. Thank you, Suzanne. That's it. And I agree with you with this one. Like, no parent should be able to go to court to get a child taken on just their word, and the other parent isn't even aware. Agreed. It's fucked up. Not without receipts. Not without something. Like, I'm so sick of this ex parte shit. These judges just handing out orders Ex parte without Mike Giannetti got a fucking order on me. Ex parte. Mike Giannetti, Kate Peters' stupid daughter, got one. Ex parte on me. I won when there was a two-party hearing. I always do. When you can actually show your side of the hearing, I always win. But when you go in and you only tell one side of the story, and I don't know this Justin Alayan guy either. He could be a scumbag too. That's what people say. I don't know if it's true. I never met him. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. People like drugs. People like, oh, he's got drug arrests. Okay. I'm not going to judge someone over drug arrests. A lot of people have drug arrests, you know. But anyway, he could be a bad dude. He could be a real bad dude. I'm not jumping to any conclusions because I don't know these two. All right. So she gets locked up. And after she's not indicted, Bradel is like, okay, let's get her out. Files a motion, gets her out of jail. This is like a week or so ago. This picture was taken, maybe 2 weeks ago. Not even. Everybody's happy. She's out. Life is good. And she still doesn't get to see the baby, but she goes home, and there's a lot of conditions of her release. And one of those, I think, ankle monitor and scram testing, which is alcohol testing. No booze. And so, but you have to like blow into something to, have the whatever to prove that you're not drunk and you're not drinking. You got to blow into the machine. Okay. Well, so that's too painful for her because, she got shot and she's had a bunch of surgeries. So it's all very painful for her. So they go in front of the judge in Salem Superior Court in Essex County. And the judge's name is McCarthy Naiman, the hyphenated cunt, as we call her. And I'm told that this is her. I can't confirm this as a fact. I just saw it on the Twitch-twat. This woman, I'm told this is the hyphenated cunt. I don't know as a fact if this is her. But they say that's her. Twitter says it's her. I don't know if it's a fact. But we are going to listen to that is her. How do we know that? Is anyone? I'd like to hear from someone who's actually seen her in the courtroom that can confirm this is her. Oh, okay. I trust the young jerks. So there's that. All right. So we're going to listen to the audio that Jess Machado got on her channel, which you should all subscribe to. Okay. That is her. Okay, thank you. That is her. So we are going to listen to the hyphenated cunt here. And let's listen to this hearing. So Bradel is trying to get the conditions of her release amended.
Calling Commonwealth versus Kelsey Fitzsimmons. This is docket number 2025-311 before the court in the defendant's motion. If the parties would please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, James 𝗃𝗵 on behalf of the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Attorney Moyari for the Commonwealth. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Martha Coakley for the defendant, Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradel for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. She's present in the courtroom today for the record to my left.
Good afternoon, Mr. Good afternoon, everybody in the courtroom.
Thank you.
So I received the defendant's emergency motion for immediate release from the scram order. So I'll hear from the moving party.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Judge, this is an issue that causes Ms. Fitzsimmons a lot of pain. And I don't want to conflate her being able to pass the test because she's been passing them, but she has about 4 hours of pain and dizziness afterwards. And I don't think anyone, and I know the court would share my thought that this shouldn't be a torture device for her. This shouldn't be something that causes her pain, impairs her rib healing, et cetera, et cetera. So, we're not trying to get any sort of advantage over anything. We just want her to not, A, to not be in pain for hours after these tests, and B, we just want her to not have the anxiety that if she has a difficulty doing it, that she's going to get a knock on the door and get locked up.
Right.
We were told by the 𝗍𝗏 people that, they may have to issue a warrant. And thankfully they didn't. And we appreciate, you have Mr. January's email regarding his own observations about what happened. And
so Mr. January is the probation officer, I believe.
I think that says it all. That's someone that has no bias or interest, and probation enforces court orders, and that's that. And he's telling the court this is a problem, and this is something that should be addressed. And
okay.
So I see this as a simple adjustment of terms.
I don't see it that way.
Okay. Whoa. I don't see it. So this is humane. I mean, this is Massachusetts we're talking about. Allegedly, the most liberal state in the country, or one of them, where our judges allow people to roam free who have committed 1 million crimes, like the people who killed the asshole that killed Michael Chestnut, who killed Sean Gannon, Officer Gannon in Yarmouth. These guys have like dozens, if not hundreds, of priors, all of them, and they're still walking free. It's Massachusetts. It's like what we're known for is just weak, liberal judges who are soft on crime, letting bad guys go free. That's how it works here. And, like for instance, Miles King is out right now because Michael Proctor is incompetent and he's the lead detective on that case. But also because it's Massachusetts and they just don't like keeping people in jail too long in Massachusetts. And even though it is, Miles King is like, if you look at the, and I assume this woman, I don't know who appointed her, but I assume it's like Deval Patrick. It doesn't matter. Whoever appointed her was a liberal themselves because we only have liberal governors, including Charlie Baker. Right. So I don't know. So I don't know who this woman is, but I bet you if you looked at the history of her rulings, I bet you she's not really like hard on crime. So she's a Baker appointee. Okay. Well, that's about as right wing as you get in this state, but either way, every judge I see in this state is just weak on crime. All of them. They're just not a state where we're supposed to be. Like I see it all the time. People going free. People who should be in jail who aren't in jail all the time. And so anyway, this goes on. So this is pretty simple. This is Massachusetts, the heart of like compassion and liberalism and all this stuff. This is a compassionate ask. He's asking her like she's in pain. She has rights. She wants to comply with this, but she's just struggling. And can we amend this? We get it. She's not going to drink alcohol. She'll take any test. Can we do an alternative test? That's it. Listen to what she says.
This is something that should be addressed. And
okay.
So I see this as a simple adjustment of terms.
I don't see it that way. Just so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't see it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. What I'm telling you, it's not a simple adjustment. One of the reasons she was released, and one of the reasons to ensure the safety of the community was for her to be alcohol free. If she cannot do that or will not do that, that changes everything.
That's not what they were saying. He's like, she'll pass a test. It's just, can we do a different test? She doesn't want to drink alcohol. You're misunderstanding this. She has to know this, right? She has to know this. And just listen to her tone. That's not how I see it. These women judges. Sorry, ladies. But it's just this. It's like, is she having a bad day? Is she getting a little emotional here? I mean, this is why I said, you call me a massage therapist all you want, but this is why women couldn't vote till 1920. Because people would be like, you want this bitch voting? She's acting on emotion. She's crazy. But, well, that's not how I see it. Well, maybe you should hear the whole fucking story first.
She's happy to be alcohol free. She doesn't wish to be alcohol free. It's just a means of determining that's the adjustment. That's what I mean when I say this is an adjustment. That
a scram is what was ordered. Now, was she unable, when you said that there was a knock on the door? Explain that to me.
No, Judge, that we don't want to have a knock on the door. She's living in fear of there being a knock.
She knows that. She knows that she's like the knock. There's no knock on the door, bitch. Stop playing fucking dumb. Stop being coy. You know what he fucking meant by that. It was like figurative. Like she shouldn't have to worry about the fear of somebody showing up at her house and bringing her back to jail. Right? That's what he meant by that. The knocker. What? Tell me more about this knock on the door. Bitch, you know what he fucking meant. Stop playing dumb.
On the door because of these tests. It's just not between the physical and then the mental anxiety. This is a very significant issue for her.
Okay.
And that, you know, we just want to adjust whatever means the court wishes to test her or figure this out is fine with us. But this is just a very difficult environment. And just, that's something that I just want to ask the court to adjust somehow.
Okay. So you're asking the court to adjust the court's order that's been in effect for 3 days with no medical evidence to support your claim that she cannot do it.
Well, I think you have 2 affidavits and the email from probation. I think that's pretty persuasive evidence that this is extremely difficult.
The email from probation is not evidence. If you have any evidence, now is your opportunity to submit it.
I don't know.
The email from probation is not evidence. What are you talking? Testimony is always evidence. Is this her first day on the job? Everybody knows testimony is evidence. An affidavit is evidence. If a probation officer says there's an alternative way to do this, then there's an alternative way to do this. And that's what the affidavit from, I mean, I've never heard of such a thing where probation is on the side of the defendant. Like what?
Understand the court's position. That's not evidence.
Okay. It's an email. It's hearsay. Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the submissions?
It's hearsay? From probation? What? She's saying, I don't care what the probation officer says?
An email as evidence in this hearing to relieve the defendant, Ms. Fitzsimmons, of a condition that's been in effect for 3 days.
I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we have the person who sent that email here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you have a burden. It's your motion. What do you want to do?
So the Commonwealth doesn't really seem to, I don't hear them being like, yeah, no, we object to this strenuously. They're like, well, probation's here. Let them talk. Okay, let's hear them.
Well, Judge, I don't think that I mean, is the court saying that papers and emails and affidavits are not sufficient?
This is an email from a probation officer. The court gives that 0 weight.
Oh, 0. What a cunt.
Well, then you have an affidavit from Ms. Fitzsimmons and you have an affidavit from her mother of the physical observations of what happens. I think that's, you know, the more persuasive evidence than a doctor saying something to the effect of, you know, I think it's self-evident.
And by the way, so she ends up sending her back to jail. Spoiler alert with this. Okay. And what pisses me off about this, and I haven't talked to Tim Bradel about this. I don't know how he feels, but in hindsight, they were better off just not. This is the defendant's motion. This wasn't even like a motion to revoke her bail. This was the defendant asking that the terms of release be amended to a more humane way to test her for alcohol. Right? So the Commonwealth, at least in my cases, the Commonwealth filed motions to revoke my bail. They're not doing that here. The judge is just like, and so I do wonder if he feels bad. I haven't asked him about this, but I know Tim, and I'm sure he does. I'm guessing he does. Because had he not filed this motion for an alternative way to have this woman tested, then she wouldn't be in jail, right? She would just be in pain taking this shit. I bet you if she can go, you know, back in time, I bet if he could go back in time, that's what he would obviously do. And I'm sure he's kicking himself over it. You know, that's got to suck. But how could you see this coming? I don't know. She would have been revoked anyway because she couldn't complete all the tests. Okay. I mean, if she literally couldn't, that's fucking crazy. So you gave her, again, let's play some more.
And it's common knowledge that if you have broken ribs, that it's hard to breathe.
What evidence do I have that she has current broken ribs and that she's suffering from broken ribs at this time?
Well, you have an affidavit from her mother. You have an affidavit from Ms. Fitzsimmons. And the other day we were here, I submitted I believe I submitted the instructions from Mass General about broken ribs.
Okay.
I mean, I would just argue that it's somewhat self-evident as well. It's somewhat self-evident as well. And that, you know, she's having great difficulty here. It's been observed by probation. It's been attested to by her mother. And it's been attested to by Ms. Fitzsimmons. So it's just a very difficult scenario for her that luckily she has passed the test, but then she's got hours of pain afterward. And the one that she had difficulty with, you know, out of an abundance of caution, we we're dealing with 𝗍𝗏, and we were informed that they may issue a warrant. And
So I want to hear about the one she had difficulty with. When was that?
Page 7. Well, so that's what I was saying. Judge. I don't want to conflate passing with not having difficulty. She has difficulty with every single test, and so she passes them in great pain. So she's had difficulty in every single one. Equated, it's in the affidavit. So she has difficulty on every single one. So that's different than passing the test. So she's experiencing difficulty all the way through. But the one that she was unable to was 9/9/25 at 3:09 p.m. I guess.
And was that a required test that she was to do?
Yes.
And she was unable to perform it?
Correct.
Okay. Was she unable to perform it?
No.
What happened?
No.
So this is probation
Since she's been released.
Yes, we're in office.
Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear you will make true answers to such questions that may be put to you by the court or upon its direction, so help you God?
I do. Or if I could just pass this up. This is information pertaining to all of her career.
And is that being submitted, Attorney 𝗿𝗏, as an exhibit for the purposes of this hearing?
Judge, I'd be more than happy to do that.
It's not more than happy to. You're either doing it or not.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead, Nora.
Okay, so
oh my God, what a cunt. Again, just look at just watch Judge Doolin's demeanor in court and just how it doesn't have to be this way. Like, we can treat each other with a certain amount of respect in a courtroom. A judge can have a certain rapport with both attorneys on both sides and just be like, yeah, I mean, Judge Doolin would not do this. Most judges, Judge Kaylene wouldn't do this. Judge Pomeroy wouldn't do this. Judge freaking Rayburn wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do this. And just like this, I mean, just listen to that attitude from her.
𝗿𝗏, as an exhibit for the purposes of this hearing.
Judge, I'd be more than happy to do that.
It's not more than happy to. You're either doing it or not.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead, Nora.
Okay,
it just says that she passed the test, which is not an issue. The issue is that she's in extreme pain while doing it. Whether she passes.
Okay, so there's one Office of January that says incomplete at 9/10/25 at 3:09 p.m. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So what does that mean?
Yeah. So what it means is there's a scheduled test that's programmed daily for her to be alerted and to initiate a test, and that happens. And so initially she answers the alert and attempts to take the test, but is unable to complete the test. And based on my information, my conversations with 𝗍𝗏 is that is when she has difficulty either blowing as hard or as long, or a combination of both, into the machine to complete the test. So what happens after that is there are additional attempts to complete the test, which she tries, and then ultimately on that particular date,
so she tries to take it.
Successfully completes and passes the test on September 10th.
Okay.
At 3:50 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, what I have in front of me is an incomplete test at 9/10/25 at 3:09 p.m.
That's correct. And then if you just look
and then
right
it says
that,
passed at 9/10/25 at 9:30 a.m.
Okay, so you're looking.
So she passed the test in the morning and then had to take the test hours later, and it says incomplete. Okay.
Referring to this the second document, it's multiple pages.
I think if you just go up instead of the one above it,
Okay.
incomplete is the.
So it's 3:09, it's incomplete, and then at 3:50 she passed.
That's correct.
So that's a period of
41 minutes.
40 minutes.
So she tries taking the test at 3:09, has trouble with it, and then takes it at 3:50. So suppose if she had alcohol in her system at 3:09, she's gonna have alcohol in her system at 3:50, correct? Like, it's still gonna be in your system. So what does it matter if it's at 3:09 or 3:50? What does that matter?
That's correct. And you'll see the same thing.
So the other one, which is
September 9th, yes.
September 9th.
Again, at 3 o'clock.
The
test is initially incomplete.
At 3:09, and then it's complete at 4:21.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah, 420, 421.
So there were 2 times that she had an incomplete test. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Incomplete.
And what's the procedure of the probation department when somebody who has a condition of release to have a scram and to pass the scram test in a very serious case if they're incomplete? And I have 2 incomplete tests and I was not made aware of either one of them.
So my first job when we get an incomplete test is to gather more information. And so, which is what we do. And so in response to the incomplete test, we call Elmo, we gather the information, which is she answered the alert to take the test as scheduled. Unfortunately, she was unable to complete the test because she was unable to blow as long or as hard as needed to complete the test. So ultimately at 420, she completes the scheduled test. There may be additional attempts in between, but ultimately she completes the test.
So that's for a period of an hour and 20 minutes.
That's correct. Now,
so you think she sobered up during that?
To the hour and 20 minutes. We also know that, and I observed it firsthand, that whatever the injuries are, which I don't know, actually doesn't really matter to me. But when I was doing the installation process and observed what was genuine pain, like
observed.
So,
any objection to any of the terms used by the probation officer? Okay.
So
the prosecution doesn't object. Again, I'm not hearing any pushback from the Commonwealth. Ken Mello would be out there talking about I should go to jail because of Pornhub. Remember he said that? But Your Honor, he's got a Pornhub and he's got a car and he can use it to he can take it to the gun store and buy a gun. He's dangerous. At least Ken Mello put up a fight. It doesn't sound like these prosecutors are even putting up a fight. They're like, yeah, I don't care. I don't dispute any of this stuff. So she tries to take the test. It's too painful, but then she tries again. So she's not just not doing it. She's just trying it. It's too hard. And then she just sucks it up and tries harder and eventually does it. And I mean, this is just madness.
we have all that information. We don't deem that non-compliant. She's attempting to take the test and she ultimately passes the test at 420. So with all of the information, that's not non-compliant. That's compliance. And she, with her
I'm getting confused. What do you mean compliant? As far as when she was initially
that's compliant with scram testing. She was ordered
when she initially was started to be monitored by scram, and you went through the preparations. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So when something is incomplete, do you typically bring it to the attention of the court?
No, that's not what we do. So if something is incomplete, as in this case, at on September 9th, at 3:09, we have an incomplete test, which is a scheduling test.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, that's simply not the non-compliance. If she had missed the test, that would generate additional responses from Elmo, and then that would determine whether or not there's actual non-compliance. If someone missed a test because they were down in the basement doing laundry and then came up and realized that they had a test, took an on-demand test 20 minutes later and passed the test, which means there's no alcohol in the system, we don't deem that as non-compliant. That's
right.
Compliance.
That's compliant. Okay.
If they missed the test and additional notifications were made by the electronic monitoring office regarding the missed test, and she failed to respond or she failed to take an alert for another on-demand test, now that's non-compliance, and we would initiate a pre-trial violation notice and notify the district attorney's office. This particular case, I don't deem non-compliance because she's complying with the scheduled program. I'm aware of pain based on my observations from the installation process. So as long as she's attempting to take the test, continues to attempt to take the test, and then ultimately takes the test, that's not non-compliance. That's someone that's
that's your position. It's non-compliant. It's really up to the court to decide whether somebody's compliant or not with conditions of release.
It's up to the court. What are you but he's the expert. He's the probation officer. He's the guy that does this all the time. But you know more than him. I mean, she just does not like something's up here. This might be the Turtleboy effect. I hate to say it. I mean, we've seen the judges' rulings with me, Krupp and stuff like that. And who knows if this woman has a thing up her sleeve. I think that they're taking out their anger with me on 𝗵𝗵𝗏 and his clients. Like, I really think that this is a Turtleboy thing. I don't know who this judge is. I know she's a cunt. She's a hyphenated cunt. I bet you over the years I've offended somebody that she likes or supports or something like that. Maybe she saw my Karen Reed coverage and didn't like the jib of my sale, didn't like the things I said about Auntie Bev. Maybe they have drinks on the weekend. Who knows? Okay. And I bet she's just like, oh yeah, Tim Bradley, you're the Turtleboy layer. Well, fuck you and your clients. I think that's what's happening here. I think that's what this is.
What you're saying is those situations you described is what you deem as appropriate to bring before the court.
So I guess it would never be brought to court by way of a pretrial violation for an incomplete test with the information that I've talked about. So no, an incomplete test does not initiate a pretrial violation from our end, because there are many reasons for a test to be incomplete. And there are circumstances where someone misses a test and then takes an on-demand test. That's not intentional non-compliance. And the goal is to test to ensure that the person's sober. Right. We don't deem that non-compliance. We
don't deem it non-compliant.
We never have, and we never would, in this case, initiate a pretrial violation proceeding based on an incomplete test that was subsequently passed.
Yeah.
And so
that's the part that makes no sense. If she would have failed it at 309, then she would fail it at 342 as well, or 350, whatever. You're not going to sober up then. It takes hours for alcohol to get out of your system completely. There shouldn't be any alcohol in her system at all, period. Doesn't make any sense.
The schedule for her to be tested is something that we discussed. It wasn't ordered by the court. The court ordered someone to be alcohol free.
What do you mean we discussed? So she knows when she's going to be tested?
With Ms. Fitzsimmons. I discussed with the defense counsel about creating a testing schedule, because it's more practical to have a schedule in place. There was no schedule that was ordered by the court. There's no frequency of testing that was ordered by the court. 4 times a day, 3 times a day. None of that was ordered. She was ordered.
It was random screens. Excuse me, Mr. Officer January. It was random screens. Now you're telling me she's on a schedule to get tested? Is that what you're telling me?
We created a schedule.
With
as we always do.
Okay.
As we always do. Not in this particular case. We always do.
It was random screens that were ordered.
Judge, I don't have that. I don't have random screens anywhere in my materials, for the record.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about random screens.
Okay.
Judge, just so I can clarify that. When we get an order, someone's placed on pretrial conditions that include, we name alcohol-free with scram testing. We always default to creating this testing schedule.
Okay.
And up to 4 times a day. So we'll schedule one for the morning, we'll schedule one for the mid-afternoon, we'll schedule one for the evening, and if we have to, we'll schedule one for later at night. And that's to ensure that sobriety throughout the day. In this particular case, we created a schedule for her to be tested at 9:30, 3 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock. The only way we would not enter a schedule is if the court specifically said, I want the test to be done randomly. I don't want her to know when the test is coming. And the test to be done randomly. And at that point in time, we would take her off the schedule, and then we would notify Elmo to be tested 4 times a day at random.
Okay.
So that's done on this case, and it's done on every case.
Okay. Attorney Bradley, do you have anything else to submit?
Judge, I would just offer, I respect and I heard Your Honor's take on the probation email, but for the record, I would move that into evidence as well. And I just want to also.
Commonwealth, do you have a position as to the admission of the email?
Well, I think we just heard with the email.
All right, so the email's excluded. Anything else?
The email's excluded. They don't ask for it to be excluded. So basically, she's just like, yep, we're not listening to probation. They don't count. I don't care what this guy who does this for a living has to say about this. Do you have anything on it? Do you object to that? Like, that was their cue to be like, I object to this, Your Honor. And they're like, yeah, we don't care. No position. Yeah, so it's excluded. They didn't even ask. Like, she's made up her mind. She knew what she was doing the second she walked into this courtroom.
My objection, Your Honor.
Sure.
And Judge, I just want to state that on the pretrial conditions of release, that says comply with remote alcohol breath testing.
Okay. I don't know if that's what was ordered. I'm going to go back and listen to FTR.
I can tell the court from where I sit, I didn't remember any use.
I mean, you may very well be right, but I'm going to go listen.
Judge, I just want to clarify something. My email, and I know but it's important that the court knows I didn't make a recommendation that the scram condition be vacated. I never did that. I never suggested. It's all that email was.
Attorney, Officer January, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Are you asking to make a statement?
That
I mean, you may very well be right, but I'm going to go listen.
Judge, I just want to clarify something. My email, and I know but it's important that the court knows I didn't make a recommendation that the scram condition be vacated. I never did that. I never suggested, it's all that email was.
Attorney, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Are you asking?
Like, oh my God. Only call me a massage therapist. I don't give a fuck. Only a woman talks like that. Men do not talk like that. Men do not talk like that to other men. Like that, only a fucking woman talks like that. And fuck you if you have any problem with that, because you know it's fucking true. Listen to this.
Make a recommendation that the scram condition be vacated. I never did that. I never suggested, it's all that email was.
Attorney, Officer January, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete.
She even does the high talker voice. Attorney General, nobody's asking you questions. Listen to the way she talks there.
Are you
a recommendation that the scram condition be vacated? I never did that. I never suggested, it's all that email was.
Attorney, Officer January, nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Are you?
Nobody's asking you questions. Your testimony is complete. Men don't fucking talk like that. Only a fucking woman could talk like that. Only a fucking woman. And fuck you if you think I'm wrong about that. Go fuck yourself. Because it's one, I have never been more right about anything, but no bail judge would ever fucking talk like that. Ever. I'm not talking to you right now. So like, nobody's talking to you. So like, sit down. How about you go fuck yourself instead? How about you go fucking sit on a fucking sharp pole and insert it into your asshole and fucking spin around instead? How about you do that, cunt?
You asking to make a statement to the court?
If the court's under the belief that I recommended that condition be vacated or removed, then yeah.
I haven't said anything one way or the other, sir. We're here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's for the motion to vacate the scram device. So do you have anything else to submit, Attorney Braille?
No.
Okay, Commonwealth, do you have anything?
No, I have no evidence to submit other than the arguments that I talked about, how important that the Commonwealth's belief is, in light of the court releasing the defendant, that testing be done.
Okay.
They don't even put up a fight. They don't even put up a fight. They're just like, yeah, testing can be done. Any testing. They're doing the testing. That's it. They're not even putting up a fight.
Rachel, here, first of all, I do have a question. So, Ms. Fitzsimmons is able to do the scram, is that correct? Or is she not able to do it? I don't know. Is she not able to do it?
I think, that depends on whether the court is willing to tolerate that the material represented in the
court is not tolerating anything. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not tolerating anything. The court is not tolerating anything. Ms. Fitzsimmons is a defendant. In lieu of incarceration, my order was that she submit to scram. If she cannot do that, I need to know that. Can she do that or not?
Wow. The court is not tolerating anything. Except you are. You are tolerating pain. You're telling that it's okay for her to be in pain. Yeah, she has to do it. She has to suck it up and do it. So just say that. In lieu of incarceration, I was nice enough to take her out of jail for a crime she hasn't been convicted of. Oh my God, just listen to her.
She can do it.
Okay.
Under the terms that are laid out in the affidavit.
So you're saying she can do it on her own terms?
With significant pain and dizziness and having to recover for several hours.
I understand what you're saying. It's certainly not the court's intention. It's not the court's position to have Ms. Fitzsimmons in any pain at all. So I appreciate your argument. Do you have anything else to add?
Okay.
I would suggest, Judge, that I think there's other ways to do this. If the court wishes to have her tested for alcohol compliance, lack of alcohol, that's completely fine with the defense.
Yeah.
But just the means that's being employed is kind of a torture device for her.
Okay.
And so we object on due process grounds to that.
Oh, okay.
But
it is not this court's intention to torture Ms. Fitzsimmons at all. The court's goal is to make sure the community is safe and Officer Noonan is safe. So I hear you loud and clear that the defense views Ms. Fitzsimmons having to do this grant.
So how is the community unsafe? Exactly. If she's sitting in her home with the GPS monitoring device on, she's taken every test. It's just in pain. I mean, people like torture, not a good word to use. Why? Why not? Okay. I mean, do you think if she used like painful, it would be any better? No. No. She wants it to be her way. No, it has to be scram. I said scram, so that's it. I mean, this is insane. She didn't. Yeah, like she's not the one that shot someone here. Insane.
As cruel and unusual and torture. Is that your community is safe and Officer Noonan is safe. So I hear you loud and clear that The defense views Ms. Fitzsimmons having to do the scram as cruel and unusual and torture. Is that your position?
Well, that's an Eighth Amendment position. I suppose that can be put in there as well. But Judge, I think that, there's probably other alternatives that she could do that I believe are out there. But I know that might step on the court's other order for house arrest, that she would have to go to a facility. I know there's like urine tests and other things like that. So I know there's other possibilities out there.
Yeah.
That, again, she's not trying to use this to create a situation where she can go drink alcohol.
Okay.
That's not at all what this is about. So I just want to ask the court to consider any other alternatives that might not pose this type of an issue.
Okay.
Like Karen Reed was out on bail for allegedly drinking and driving and hitting her boyfriend and murdering him. And she could drink. There was no alcohol testing for her at all. And she didn't get shot and wasn't forced to fucking breathe into a tube.
Attorney 𝗃𝗿𝗃𝗃 or Attorney Moriarty, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, I'm going to leave the bench for a few.
Like, do you have anything to add? She's like begging the prosecution. Can you guys step in here and like try to revoke her bail or something? And they're like, no, we got not. I don't see a problem with this. She takes it under advisement and comes back. Now, when she comes back, they have to be thinking, well, they're going to rule on whether or not she can have this amended. I bet they're not even thinking bail revocation. They're not even thinking when she went into this, she probably had no idea at all that even going to jail was even on the table. That like worst case scenario is you got to keep taking the scram test. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we get this amended somehow with some sort of alternative where you get to go. She's not allowed to leave the house. So, okay, so you go and, you leave her parents' house in Methuen and you go to some facility and you piss in a cup and that's it. Okay, fine. That's what they're thinking. Like that's any normal judge would just do that. Like, who cares? You're on GPS anyway. We know where you're going. Like, you're not going anywhere.
We're back on the record with the Fitzsimmons matter.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So I have reviewed everything again that's been submitted to me. And I'll state for the record that Fitzsimmons has moved twice in a 3-day period to amend her conditions of release. On neither occasion has she submitted any medical evidence to support her claims. The imposition of conditions is the court's order after careful consideration of the evidence to fashion the least restrictive conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant and the safety of all other persons in the community pursuant to General Laws Chapter 276, Section 58A2B. Just days ago, the court concluded that the condition of remaining alcohol-free and submitting to scram monitoring was necessary to ensure the safety of the community. After a thorough review of all of the arguments and submissions by the Commonwealth and Fitzsimmons, that conclusion remains unchanged, regardless of Fitzsimmons' claimed physical limitations. Based on an affidavit submitted by Fitzsimmons' mother, the testimony of Assistant Chief Probation Officer Jeff January about his observations of Fitzsimmons' apparent pain during the scram installation, and the representations of Fitzsimmons' counsel that it would be cruel and unusual punishment and torture to continue to require Fitzsimmons to comply with the condition of being monitored by scram, the court concludes that Fitzsimmons cannot abide by the condition of being monitored by scram. Without this condition, which ensures—
So that's, if you're hearing that from her, you're like, okay, this is a good thing. Good. She can't keep doing the scram. So she's going to set up some sort of alternative testing, right? That's what you got to be thinking here.
that she does not consume any alcohol, the court cannot assure the safety of Officer Noonan and all other persons in the community. Accordingly, the court's prior order of release is vacated, and Fitzsimmons is ordered to be held without bail pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 276, Section 58A. And a written order will follow.
May I address the court?
That's the court's order. Thank you.
All right, Jack. I ask you to stay your order pending the 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗃. And there are other alternatives Your Honor can accomplish.
And just leaves. Wow. That's horrible. That's fucking horrible, man. You can hear her crying at the end there. That, as somebody who's been to jail before, I know how horrible that. I can't even imagine what that's like. She's been in jail since early July, late January, or been, she was in the hospital before that, but been in a place she couldn't go to. And then I know what it's like to be released from jail. I know what a great feeling that is. You know, it was the greatest feeling. 3 greatest days of this whole thing have been February 23rd, getting released from jail, June 18th, the acquittal, and the Wilbur Theater. Those are the 3 greatest feelings. But probably the best of them all was February 23rd, to be honest with you, when I was released from jail. And I didn't have any restrictions when I was released from jail. I could leave my house. I could go running. I could do whatever I want. I could drive a car. I didn't have alcohol testing, anything like that. But man, getting out of jail was the best fucking feeling in the world. Until you've been incarcerated, you don't even understand how awesome it is to be free, you know? And so I know that feeling. I know how awesome it feels. And she felt it for 3 days. And then to have that on, to go back to your house and take a bath and, be with your family and sleep in a bed and eat regular food and do, you know what I mean? It's the best. Be with the people you love. It's the best thing in the world. And then you get out and you're like, you have this horrible thing you have to do. You're in pain. And I bet she wishes that she just never brought it up. It's just like, fine. I would just deal with the pain. I'd be like, fuck it. Fuck it. It's better than jail, and then to go into court having no idea that this is even on the table, because who would be so cruel? Who would do such a thing? And to then get taken back away. I mean, she didn't get to see her baby when she was out still because of the fucking order. And man, is she struggling. Man, this is horrible. So she's going to now, and the woman's jail is in 𝗃𝗃, so it's so far away. A cop like this, you don't get put in general population. So I assume she's right where I was in medical and segregated, which makes jail so much worse. So much worse because you don't get to talk to anyone. Your time, it goes by so slowly. Man, it is just the fucking worst. The worst. And man, not even staying in the room when Bradel gets objected, like didn't care. I mean, this is just awful, man. This is so inhumane and disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's just, I understand that Mike from the Young Jerks today posted, and I want to go find it. So they asked for reconsideration, and it was denied. I'm going to just download these. I haven't read the whole thing. Maybe somebody can sum it up for me. So I don't have to read the whole thing with you guys right now. But as I explained below, Fitzsimmons' failure to transparently provide information related to her ability and willingness to abide by the conditions imposed despite 3 lengthy hearings is a manipulation of this court's efforts to fashion the least restrictive conditions of release that will both allow her to avoid incarceration and reasonably assure safety of all persons in the community. Wow. Wow. Oh, here's the whole thing. Copy. I got to email this to myself. Hold on. All right. That was a cunt move for sure. That was rough. All right, here we go. Here's the whole thing. This is a little better. Okay. So she is a dangerous person. As the Commonwealth moved to hold her as a dangerous person, the court concluded that the Commonwealth met its burden as the dangerous, and the release on personal recognizance would not reasonably assure that she would not endanger the safety of another person. Police Officer Noonan, if I'm Police Officer Noonan, I object, Your Honor. I object because this order, the conditions of this release, Your Honor, make me look like a massive pussy. And I object to that, Your Honor. Like that, can we get that, Officer Noonan? Can we do that? Can you be a man about this? You shot a woman. Okay. That was real brave of you. I'm sure you're really scared. Your life is on the line. I know. Okay. So you shot a woman, Officer Noonan, and she's clearly not a threat to you at all now moving forward. Like, can I request this for Officer Noonan if he's watching? I don't want to get charged with witness intimidation. No, he's a witness. He's really emotional harm. Can you stand up and just be like, Judge, I object because you're making me look like a fucking pussy. And I object to you making me look like a fucking pussy. I don't feel unsafe around this bitch. Okay? This, like, the terms of your release are not, I am no less safe. I am no less endangered, more or less, whether or not this woman has to blow into a fucking device. That does not affect my safety at all because I'm not a fucking pussy. You're making me look like a fucking pussy. Oh my God. Can we stand up? Can men be men again? This is ridiculous. It's emasculating. Jesus Christ. I would just so object to that. Rather than hold Fitzsimmons in custody, the court sought to fashion the least restrictive conditions. Oh yeah, she's so just, isn't she? Based on the seriousness as well as the evidence presented, history of aggressive behavior while intoxicated. What's that? Is there something I don't know about? The court concluded that the condition of remaining alcohol-free and subjecting to scram was necessary. The court imposed a number of conditions: GPS monitoring, reside with their mother and stepfather under house arrest, and that she have no contact with the victim. Who the fuck is the victim? Any witness or her child. Yikes. After a further hearing regarding conditions of release, she was released from custody. In the 3 days that followed, she requested relief from two of the conditions. First, immediately after the September 8th hearing, defense counsel requested that GPS condition be lifted so that she could undergo surgery. She's acting like this is like a pain in the ass. Like, oh, you guys are asking for so much. She's got to go get surgery because she got shot. With no evidence to support the contention that she could not wear a GPS device during surgery. I mean, it's just common sense. And based on probation's representation that a GPS device does not always need to be removed for surgery, the court denied this request. So basically, she's saying you're a pain in the ass. 2 days later, Fitzsimmons filed an emergency motion for immediate relief from the scram order, which sought relief from the court order requiring her to breathe into a scram device because she was unable to do the testing without experiencing severe abdominal pain and dizziness, and because the breathing necessary, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's like a punctured lung. At a hearing, counsel argued that it would be cruel and unusual punishment and torture to continue to require her to comply with the condition of being monitored by 𝗃𝗏, but presented no alternative testing options. That's not true. I listened to the audio. He had an alternative. Go piss in a cup. That was it. That's a lie. Faced with counsel's representation that Fitzsimmons could not comply with the testing, a condition that was critical to the court's decision to release her on conditions, the court vacated its prior order. So look how cunty she is here. With this is such an auntie Bev little thing here. Faced with counsel's representations that she couldn't comply, she's blaming it on Bradel. She's like, oh, based on your representations, I'm revoking it because of you. You made me do this. That's what she's saying here. She would do this all the time with like Alan Jackson, Auntie Bev would, all the time. Okay. So the case law. In this case, there is nothing in the motion that was not known to Fitzsimmons when this matter was last before the court on September 11th. Ultimately, whether to do so or not is a matter of just judicial discretion, and a reviewing court will disturb a judge's decision on a motion pursuant only when there has been abuse of discretion. Fitzsimmons' pending motion asked the court to reconsider its revocation of her release and instead impose available alternative alcohol testing by random urine tests. Okay. That attached email was purportedly sent by a chief probation officer on September 10th, the day before the hearing, for immediate relief. The email notes that the only alternative to 𝗃𝗏 testing is urine testing through a vendor called 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃, which will require her to travel to one of their sites to submit a test. The email concludes by offering to provide more specific information on 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 tomorrow morning. At a hearing, the court gave the parties ample opportunity to present their arguments. Mr. January was present. Okay, so she's saying that like you didn't present at the hearing any doctor's notes or anything from 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 or anything saying this is an alternative. Okay, but the judge, it's like that wouldn't have mattered to you. Stop. She's like acting like that would have mattered to her. You already made up your mind. You don't like the fact that they're asking you to amend this. Basically, she's saying you just got out of jail and you've asked me twice to amend this. Go fuck yourself. I'm putting you out in jail, back in jail out of spite. That's what she's saying here. Like acting like, oh, if you had only done this, I wouldn't have done that. Such a lie. And she exactly, Joanne, she's the judge. She knows these things. You know this. You know there's alternatives. You know this. You don't need a doctor's note to know that if you get shot in the chest, it's kind of common knowledge. How about just a little human decency talking to people, normal people? Again, I think of what Judge Doolin would be like. He would not do this. Defense counsel at the time sought only an order to completely relieving her of the condition of release requiring her to submit to 𝗃𝗏. After hearing the argument from the parties and testimony, Mr. January, the court asked defense counsel if he had anything else to submit. He sought to admit evidence, an email from Mr. January reporting his observations during the 𝗃𝗏 installation, but not the email from Mr. January about alternative testing. Before taking a recess, the court once again asked the defense counsel if he had anything to submit, and he responded in the negative. Shortly thereafter, defense counsel vaguely suggested that there might be other alternatives, leaving the house for urine testing, but never provided the court with the information contained in Mr. January's September 10th email. He did submit the email. What is she saying? I mean, this is all just technicalities. And like, this is you're putting a person in jail over technicalities. Basically, she's saying that, yeah, Bradel, you could have done this and I would have kept her out of jail. Just how about not being a cunt, having a little humanity? Is that too much to ask for? I don't think anything was vague. It was only after the hearing, when the request for relief was denied, that defense counsel brought to the court's attention via the pending motion that Fitzsimmons could be tested for alcohol. Rather than live testimony under oath from Mr. January on September 11th, defense counsel now asks the court to rely on an unverified email that provides little detail about 𝗵𝗲𝗄 and the testing it offers. Footnote. The court declined to consider a September 8th email from Mr. January as evidence at the September 11th hearing on grounds that it was hearsay. He was in court, and Mr. January was at the hearing, able to provide live testimony under oath. While 58A provides that the rules concerning the admissibility of evidence in criminal trials should not apply to the presentation for otherwise inadmissible evidence, blah, 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 blah. There must be good cause. Good cause can be shown in two ways. Okay, this is... The motion also implicitly asked the court to modify the condition of release, placing her on house arrest, except for medical, court, and attorney visits, with 48 hours notice to probation, as urine testing would require her to go to 𝗵𝗲𝗄 facility with less than 48 hours notice. What? I don't even know what she's saying there. The court points out that when it initially outlined conditions of release at the August 28th hearing, the court noted, in the context of considering whether it was necessary to require random drug testing, the importance of minimizing the number of times she was allowed to leave the residence. After being advised by probation that she would have to leave the house for drug testing, and because it was alcohol and not drugs that were a concern, the court declined to impose drug testing and imposed only alcohol testing via 𝗚𝗏 device because it could be done from the confines of the home. So that's why she picked that, because that could be done at home. The court continues to recognize the importance of minimizing the number of times she's excused from house arrest for the sake of assuring her safety of the community to one pussy police officer who is scared of widow Kelsey Fitzsimmons, a woman with no badge, no gun, no ability to fucking do anything, and he's scared of her. I mean, are you watching, Officer Noonan? Because you sound like a pussy, my dude. You sound like a big fucking pussy. And this judge is out here emasculating you, calling out your fucking manhood. I think it's time you step up and announce, I'm not a fucking pussy. I mean, I'd come ask you myself, but I don't want to get charged with witness intimidation again. But that's what I used to do. I used to go up to people and ask them questions. Why are you such a pussy, officer? You shot that woman that you shot. Why are you afraid of her so much? The court also notes that she has had other opportunities to raise the issue of her inability to comply with 𝗚𝗏 testing. The court first advised that her release was conditioned on being alcohol-free and subject to 𝗚𝗏 testing. At that hearing on August 28th. At that hearing, counsel asked questions and sought clarification about other conditions, but not about the 𝗚𝗏 testing. In addition, because they didn't know the 𝗚𝗏 testing was going to be a problem until she started doing it when she got out. So, of course, they're not going to bring it up on August 28th. What they didn't know was a problem then. And she's probably just happy to get out. Without revealing, the pleading represents that Fitzsimmons has trouble breathing due to sustained injuries from a gunshot wound. But she raised no concern at the September 8th hearing about her injuries interfering with 𝗚𝗏 testing, as if that would have made a difference. So she didn't bring it out on September 8th before she ever took the 𝗚𝗏 test. So it's too late now. This is a problem she found out afterwards. There would be no change in circumstances. Footnote. nor has there been a showing that of substantial justice requires it. Ordering Fitzsimmons to remain alcohol-free and monitoring her for alcohol use with the 𝗡𝗏 device was critical to the court's decision to release her on conditions in lieu of incarceration. She has had multiple opportunities to advocate for conditions of release, which she could comply, and which would satisfy the court's concerns regarding the safety of the community. So what she's saying here, okay, is that like the alternative of urine testing makes Officer Noonan feel unsafe. Therefore, we can't do it. So that's out of the question. So what are the, you can't do 𝗡𝗏, so I guess I got to put you back in jail. Her failure to transparently provide information related to her ability and willingness to abide by the conditions imposed despite 3 lengthy hearings is a manipulation of this court's efforts to fashion the least. So she thinks that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is just being manipulative, that they're trying to pull one over on her, and she's not falling for it. So she's not going to reconsider it. She's not going to She's not going to. I guess 𝗵𝗏𝗄 was just hoping she had a bad day, and maybe you want to try it again. Maybe she's feeling better after the weekend. Nope, still a cunt. Still a cunt. So there's that. That's just fucking crazy, man. What a pussy this officer is. Holy shit. All right. So that pisses me off. Free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Oh, and I wanted to get to the Josh Hubert thing tonight, too. The jury's out on that. That's a crazy story. I wish I saw that whole trial. I don't know what's happened all week in that. That's apparently they have cell phone data now showing he never went near the bridge. Who the fuck threw her off the bridge? The girl is the one saying that she got thrown off the bridge and sexually assaulted by him. Is somebody putting this girl up to that? That whole thing's, is Josh Hubert innocent? Is he innocent? That's another one, crazy one too. I think he's going to be acquitted. Although that means the jury has to believe the girl's lying, that the girl is making the shit up, right? I forgot. I wanted to get to the Josh Hubert thing tonight. Just getting a little bit late. But that's crazy. That's another crazy fucking trial. I wish the Wilbur show wasn't the week of the Josh Hubert trial, because that trial is wild. There is camera footage of his car, but not on the bridge. They got camera footage of him. And I don't know, man. I did not see the girl testify. The girl testified Monday. I was in there on Tuesday. I saw the dad testify, and he was asked. I saw one of the best cross-examinations. The dad explaining why his semen is on her Olaf underwear. It's a fucking crazy story. The guy that allegedly threw the girl off the bridge 8 years ago and raped her. But there's no physical evidence whatsoever of him raping her. None. The dad and the mom declined doing a rape test on the girl. The dad's semen is on the pants. Also, there's one other person tested positive for it. And then the fucking woman. So the girl swims to the shore and ends up on some person's property in Shrewsbury. She calls someone unknown. Mass Live is not putting the name of the person out there that she called. And that person was also tested for DNA, apparently. It's a crazy story. I need to read that whole thing. But anyway, that's just a crazy story. But in the meantime, I'm going to read some. She called him before the cops. That's right. She called him before the cops, which is crazy. The whole thing's just fucked up. And I might have jumped to the wrong conclusion 8 years ago about Josh Hubert, although I read my articles about it and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't add up, bro. This is not adding up. It seems odd. Anyway, let me read some turtle chats here. Nicole sends $5 and goes, I almost wonder if this judge has beef with you and isn't fond of Bradel representing you. And that's what I said. I also heard the judge used to work with Noonan years ago. Not sure if it's true, but it's worth looking into. Interesting. Interesting. What else? A-Rod Rodriguez sends $10 and goes, they raised close to $6 million for Kirk's family. Can I say something a little controversial about this? And I might get canceled over this. They might come after me, the cancel mob. Charlie Kirk's a multimillionaire, right? Or was a multimillionaire. He's got life insurance, got all. When I saw like Justin Jefferson was like giving money to the family and all this shit, I'm like, is that really the best way to spend charity? Like, I'm just going to come out and say it. Call me controversial all you want. Call me insensitive. Go fuck yourself. I think that's unnecessary. For some, like, they don't need the money. They're fucking filthy rich, right? Charlie Kirk is probably worth millions of dollars. I assume he lives in a really nice home. I assume he has fucking life insurance, right? I assume their family will not go without. And when I saw Justin Jefferson from the Minnesota Vikings donating, I could have sworn I saw a headline that he donated like a whole shitload of money to the family. I'm like, you could probably give that money to someone else. I'm just saying. You could, like, I think that money is very generous of you, Mr. Justin Jefferson. But I think you could find another family of someone who was murdered and give it to them. Was that fake? I don't know. That could have been fake. It was just a headline. But I think that the Kirk family, the Erica Kirk, should take all that money and give it to someone else. That's just what I think. I call me controversial. They don't need it. Like, the last thing the Kirk family needs, what can't be replaced is their father, Charlie Kirk. He cannot be replaced. Him person, like, that's the hard part. No amount of money in the world can fix that, right? They'll never be able to fix that. And so it's just a thing that, well, if we just throw money at it and then everybody feel better. They have money. They don't need money. I think that's a waste of money. I'm just going to come out and say it. I think that's a gigantic waste of money. And the people that fucking donated money to the Kirk family are fucking retarded. I think if you asked me to give money to Charlie Kirk, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. The Kirk family doesn't need my money. No, I should stop. No. I should double down, cunt. I should double down. I should say it louder. That's what I should say. It's fucking, and I don't give a fuck if that offends you or whatever. Okay. This is a multi-million-dollar organization, Turning Point USA, right? This is a multi-millionaire, Charlie Kirk, who leaves behind. I said what I said, and now you telling me not to say it makes me want to say it fucking louder, cunt. I will say whatever I want on my fucking program. Don't ever come on here and fucking tell me what I can and cannot say, ever. And here's another uncontroversial take. I wasn't that big fan of the Instagram video either with the casket. I wasn't a big fan of that. Okay. Love it. I liked the video she made kind of memorializing her husband and speaking to the nation. I like that one. That was good. But the other one with the is it a crime to be like that one? I thought that was a little odd. I mean, everybody grieves differently. I get it. I didn't like that. I wasn't a fan of that. Okay. Can I have that opinion? Are we allowed to have, is the conservative cancel mob going to come after me next? Oh, well, come at me. I don't give a fuck. I hope that offends you. I don't give there's nothing, absolutely nothing matters to me more than you being offended. Nothing at all. At all. I just want to be very clear. I've built my entire fucking brand on that. Okay. Go fuck yourself if you don't like it. But that's that. Anyway, next up. Melissa sends $5 and goes, Yuri loves karaoke sends $5 and goes, kind of weak making the people that hosted fundraisers for you and perform at your live show pay for their ticket. If you don't want to give them an appearance fee and they want to perform out of the goodness of their hearts, that's one thing. Charging them is just rude. Maybe send this $5 to Melanie. Ooh, shots fired there. First of all, the plan was not to have them. That was not the plan. It was just like they bought tickets and I'm like, hey, you want to come up on stage and do this? I don't hear Melanie Little complaining about that. I don't hear other people complaining about. I mean, is that really a thing? You trying to start some shit there? I mean, what's up with that? I mean, you paid me $5 for that retardedness. You paid me $5 to say that. Go fuck yourself. And you used a fake name to say it because you're a pussy. Yeah, Melanie didn't complain about that. So who's complaining about it? You know? It's like, did you ever think that like Melanie and Nurse Kim and I mean, I paid Auntie Deb, okay, but Melanie and Nurse Kim and the Glare that they were happy to pay for a ticket. Did that ever occur to you that they support what I do? Right? Did that ever occur to you? And if any of them ever did a show that I would pay that, first of all, I am paying Mark Betterow. He's my fucking lawyer. Like it's also a fundraiser. Like I have a shitload of fucking bills. Like, are you kidding me? Oh. And for what it's worth, we went out for dinner the night before and I paid. So there's that. Oh, these fucking people. Anyway, back to this. 𝗼𝗲𝗄𝗃 sends $25 and goes, after reading the extracts, I would have posted and exposed the lying bitch. She is an insult to woman, to all grape survivors. Yeah, so Suzanne's talking about the fake victims phone extraction there. So that's her opinion on that. So again, I am not posting anything from that extraction because I don't want any problems with Judge Krupp. All right. And so, but other people are not subject to the protective order from Judge Krupp, and they're free to post whatever they want. And I can't stop that. So there you go. And first of all, yeah, I don't even have the ability to give them. I got 10 comp tickets. I gave them out to Bradle, Jess Machado, a few others. Kate Fay, my attorney. Yeah. All right, next up. Bridget sends $5 and goes, happy first birthday, Gia. Grandma loves you. Free Turtleboy. Okay, that's so sweet. Happy birthday, Gia. I don't know if you're watching this. Go back to sleep if you are. Oh, Dave Portnoy sends $5 and goes, hey, Turtle Dove, while you're out spending 30 hours a day standing outside the courthouse, I decided to have a life, which consists of taking one single bite out of a pizza and watching sports. Who cares that you helped raise over $1 million for an innocent woman and broke story after story exposing government and police corruption? You think that takes balls? Try living a day in my shoes. It ain't for the weak. I mean, you're right, Dave. You're right about that. I haven't done much. You enjoy pizza every day and comment about sport ball. So I can't, you're right. I've done very little. You're right. You're a much better person than me. There you go. Cuck Brennan sends $5 and says, iDubbbz is a cuck. Anissa Joma is a whore. Yoko Ono type beat. Shout out to Nicholas Diorio, Chud Logic, a dose of Buckley. Okay, I don't know what any of that else means. Thanks, dude. Jim Jones sends $100 and goes, Jessica Smith of Norfolk is a school psychologist in North Attleboro. Remarks that Charlie Kirk's death is a cautionary tale. Pray for the young studs who go to her for guidance. Young studs. Yeah, you know, if somebody says I don't like any of that shit about like, oh, that's not cool for teachers to say anything like that. But, oh, it should be a cautionary tale. What's the cautionary tale? Don't have controversial opinions or you deserve to die. I mean, that seems to be what they're suggesting. I hate that shit. New York Turtle Rider sends $10, goes, the show at the Wilbur was awesome. Have you ever seen the picture online of fake victim feeding her kid while trying out for The Bachelor? Oh, yes, I have. Or the video of her giving a speech to an empty stadium with blonde hair? Yes, I have. If not YouTube for the speech and Google for the article. Yes, I have. Marcia sends $5, goes, hey, Turtle, mind scooching over? You're blocking my big Hollywood debut on the screen. Oh, you're on there? Which way? This way? Oh, you're this way? Okay. Sorry, Marcia. Hope you're in the audience there. Yeah, my bad. But thank you. Next, Jen sends $10 and goes, to the Turtle chat sender earlier, blaming the Mormon church. The killer was not a practicing Mormon, but you know who was? The father that did the right thing and turned him in. That is such a lazy, uninformed thought. Do better. God bless Turtleboy for covering the case. Yeah, the father and the mother. How about that? OG Danielle Baker sends $25, goes, my shop is authorized Service Center for Lifesaver, the ignition trigger lock, and Scram. I would love to give Bradel some insight on this. She needs a doctor's note stating that she is medically unable to use the breathalyzer and then make a recommendation on an alternative. Also, my opinion, he needs to not talk about pain and focus on not having the strength and lung capacity required to sustain a long enough blow and hum into the device to register results. Well, but she did eventually do it. That kind of undercuts that, doesn't it? Scram is the ankle bracelet with GPS monitoring. They know where she's at all times and can test for alcohol by other means. Exactly. All right. You can reach out to him, OG Daniel Baker. I would reach out to him. Laura sends $9 and goes, the week a woman posed as a nurse and stole a baby out of the hospital, I had my son by C-section. They took him to the nursery so I could rest, and I almost went insane with the worry that he was separated from me. To take Kelsey's child from her arms is the worst nightmare for a mother. I don't care who did what to who. Kids come first. Exactly. $10 here from Denise says, sorry I missed your show, but I had to choose between you and my adorable 95 spunky dad. So next time, I admire you. My question, do you think one-on-one you could get one of the witnesses to crack a little or even tell the truth with your award-winning journalism skills? I doubt it. They don't really seem to respond to me much. I don't think they would crack. I mean, why would they, even though I am pretty charming, but I know they're lying just by every time I question them, I prove they lie. Like Jen's inability to answer any questions for me was just, she's guilty. Sandy sends $10 and goes, the judges are required and expected to adhere to high standards of professional conduct. That includes treating all parties with respect. It is the judge who violated her conditions, not Kelsey. Exactly. Kathy sends $5 and goes, I'm an advocate for abused kids. It is not the case. In my opinion, the mother disagrees with his side. His side wants child, no welfare check, no receipts. Just take the child. They want her to sign child over. It will go away. This happens way too much. Ma'am, don't give in, fight, and free Turtleboy. I don't know what any of that means, Kathy, because it's like all over the place, but I appreciate how you ended it with saying free Turtleboy. Angel sends $10, goes, laughing my ass off at your female voice. On the money, Doc, LOL. On the money, Doc. Women are cunts. This is known. It's true. It's hard for a man to be a cunt. Nicole sends $5 because we don't have them. I almost wonder if this judge has beef with you. And I already read the one. That's what I said earlier. Exactly. Okay. A couple more here. Laura sends $5 and goes, please check your email. I just sent an article from Fox 25. Kelsey explains what happened in her own words that night and last summer when she witnessed a murder-suicide. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Of a woman and her baby. I forgot about that aspect of it. Thank you. I'll check that out. Quirk sends $10 and goes, the casket video was cringe. Stay controversial. Fuck them. Free the turtle hopex. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's everybody grieves differently. I really believe that. And I give everybody a pass and grace when it comes to that. However, I still reserve the right to my opinion. And the casket video, like having somebody be like, yo, tape this for me while I do this. I wouldn't do it. But again, everybody grieves differently. And I don't think it's that controversial to be like, that was a little bit much, you know? Rachel in Mass sends $10 and says, hey, I only thought you should stop because, oh, okay. So this is the one who says this, because why do his kids not get to continue to be multimillionaires? Bro, that's what life insurance is. That's what life insurance is for. They're going to continue. They pay a percentage of what you were living at, I believe, right? Their dad would have made millions more, and they've been denied that. So what? The kids have a right to continue. I mean, that's a weak argument to be like, well, the kids should continue to live their life as millionaires. I'm just saying, if you're looking for charity, there are better charities to give out there than the Child Millionaire Fund. Because so the children were millionaire children beforehand, and they should continue to be millionaire children. That's a really weak argument. So what if people continue that for them? Money doesn't last forever. They will need more. And now their dad can't earn anymore. No hate towards you. I'm just saying that didn't help you out. I appreciate the $10. You know, your boy. I mean, that's better money. Send it to me or whatever, you know, but yeah, I think you're missing the point there, Rachel and Mass. The children, money doesn't last forever. They will need more. And you know what their dad would have told them? Get a fucking job. You know what I mean? When they're older, make your own. Do what Charlie Kirk did. Build your own fucking brand. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Emily sends $15. Emily C., the roaster. Listen, Turtle, I just wanted to prove how happy I was to support you at the Wilbur. Well, thank you. But you have people white knighting for you in the comments. And they're like, she shouldn't have to pay for a ticket because she came on stage and roasted you. Yikes. Apparently Emily disagrees with you. So suck on that. There you go. Colleen sends $13 and says, nice shirt. Well, thank you. I just threw it on. Purple for Kelsey. She kind of stole my color, but that's okay. She got shot and she's in jail. So I'll give her a break. I don't own the color purple. I like it a lot. I'm a purple guy, but purple and green. I wanted purple to win that, but it was like right down the middle. But we'll wear purple for Turtleboy and Kelsey Fitzsimmons and Advent. You know, a lot of good things are purple. All right. Grimace and all sorts of shit. Okay. Tracy sends $20 and says, can we send cards and commissary funds to Kelsey? I don't know about cards. You should just download the Securus app and message her on that. As far as other stuff, I'm not sure. Therese sends $5 and says, no cams, no convictions, do better. She's a effing cunt with a K. Okay. Thank you, Therese. Okay. I think that's about it. Well, I am going to go hit the hay, but, you know, we'll see you guys all for tomorrow night. Hopefully we're going to go over Megamotion on here tomorrow night. We're going to do another bonus episode because I can't wait till Saturday to go over Megamotion. We got to do it now. All right. So yeah, anyway, I'm outie guys, and we'll see you guys all soon for the next, I'll see you on Sex Cult on Thursday and all types of shit. All right. Peace to you bum crease turtle riders. Brush your teeth.
It calls for data including